Hello, hello.
Good morning, good morning.
Oops. Once again, I was chatting on mute. It's the way I start the show here. All
Uh,
right,
and, then-
let me start again.
and I'm the
Do
one
you
that's supposed
really
to
want
do
me
half
as
the
a
show.
co-host? I'm sure somebody else, some other stewards in your group would rather be a co-host.
Calypso, would you like to? I'm going to invite you, Calypso, to come up as a co-host.
By the way, I was listening. I was listening. Am I breaking up?
No, there was like feed, but it stopped now.
Can you guys
So I
hear me?
was listening to a podcast last night. It's from Eric Verhey. He basically got this new ChatGPT thing, which is more
Mm.
private and less censored. So just want to share that because I tried it. It actually works pretty well, and it's called Venice, VENICE .ai. So you don't send your data off to random people. It's no monitors. It's if you type any controversial stuff, it's not censored. Even if if you watch that the podcast is what Bitcoin did. So right now, if you type into ChatGPT, tell me a rude joke. I didn't know this. It won't tell you a rude joke.
Oh no.
Uh, it's crazy. I didn't know this.
Yeah, it's pretty
Uh,
boring, really. Can you hear me?
so yeah, I thought that's a bit wrong. Like the way ChatGPT is doing it. So I just want to share. Like Venice AI is actually much better
Okay, well, it tell you rude
from that
jokes.
sense. Yeah, we'll tell you rude jokes, and you can tell it to be more rude and more
Oh
rude
my
and
God.
stuff like that.
You're right. Oh, what a way to start the show, guys. You better get used to it. It's starting off rude and it's probably going to carry on being rude.
And it's got like, and it's actually much cheaper. So like, apparently 1 year is like $50 or something like that, rather than $20 a month. And it's got like the image generation with stable views or whatever as well. So seems pretty good.
Yeah, all right. Thanks for that. I'm going to go get my daily rude jokes and start posting them on Twitter. And I'm going to say thanks to Hero that I'm upping my game. I don't know if you can hear us, Nieta, but I think you've jumped off to fix it. She was getting some feedback on her mic. Oh, there she is again. Oh, there we are. I'm going to invite you back up. You had some feedback on your mic, Nieta. So I could hear you, but it was like echoing. So let's see if we can. I've invited you. All right. Well, um, okay. So let's kick it off. We are welcome to everybody to Art on Stacks every Tuesday, 2 p.m. right here on X. I'm Good Kitty. I'm the lead steward for the NFT track for creative innovation in the Stacks DeGrants funding program. And today we're going to spend some time focusing on insight and mentorship to or for any applicants that are here in the audience. So if you have put an application in and you would like to chat to us about it, please put your hand up and we'll bring you up here on stage to do so. Um, yeah, so thanks to everybody for joining. I'm going to introduce the stewards in a moment, but before we kick off, for those who are new to our ecosystem, I just want to give a quick intro into Stacks as well as the program, and then we can jump into the show. So Stacks is an L2 that brings smart contracts to Bitcoin, and because transactions settle directly onto Bitcoin, it allows developers to create a wide range of apps that are able to inherit Bitcoin's security, stability and basically bring broader adoption to Bitcoin, right? So we have something coming up in sort of August, September this year called the Nakamoto upgrade. And with that, Stacks is going to further integrate with Bitcoin. It's going to improve the performance and scalability and basically unlock even more potential for innovation and growth in the space. So one of the sort of most, or the things that we highlight most about it is obviously the 5-second transaction times, which are a very important part of this upgrade to enable us to speed things along and be able to kind of compare in a way to some of the faster chains out there. Right, so the DeGrants funding program, which is what we're all here for, was introduced last year with cohort 1, and we're super excited to be implementing the second cohort this year. The program was basically designed ground up by the community, and it's been designed for the community to fund and support innovative projects within the Stacks ecosystem. And we've got 5 categories: DeFi, BNS, community and governance, builders, and NFTs. Our communications hub is on console, and you can learn more about the program at degrants.xyz, which covers information about all the tracks. And then you can head over to goodkitty.xyz, where we focus on the NFT track. We're particularly interested in projects that can revive and enhance the NFT marketplace on Stacks. It has been very quiet for the last year, particularly since ordinals broke onto the scene. A lot of the early adopters with ordinals were Stacks creators and Stacks NFT collectors. But we are very excited to be able to rebuild the sort of amazing community and NFT profile picture projects. We had some wonderful communities and obviously a really sort of bustling art marketplace on Gamma. But like I said, it has quietened down, and that's what we're all here for, to build it back up. Within the NFT category, we've broken it down into 5 categories. We've got art, which is stewarded by Grim. She's unfortunately not able to be here with us tonight. We have photography, which is stewarded by Caletso. Welcome, Caletso. We have literature, which is stewarded by Sarah Bullen. Welcome to you, Sarah. We have film that is stewarded by Tank. She's also unable to be here. She's working on a film at the moment, but I am having meetings with her and discussing the application, so she's kind of there in the background. And then I am working with music, so I think that's it: film, photography, literature. Yeah. Right, so that's basically a little rundown of what is going on here today. Like I said, we are hoping really to speak to the applicants. It's an important part, we feel, of the application process, just to come along and share your ideas with us and ask any questions you may have. Even if you have put your application in, you are able to go back and make alterations to it right up until the closing date. So Hero says my voice is choppy. Let me just pull this out.
Can you guys hear me?
Is that better, Hero? No.
You sound good on my side. Maybe Hero is the one having issues.
Yeah, Hero.
Can anybody hear me?
I can hear you, Caletso, really well. I can hear you, Nieta. You had sort of bad. Just speak now, Nieta, and let me hear.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, loud and clear. That beautiful voice of yours.
Oh, good.
Welcome. Hello. Rise and shine, cutie pie.
I don't know. I woke up this morning and it's like, wakey, wakey, hands off, snaky. Let's go.
For everyone who doesn't know, Netta wakes up every Tuesday at 4 a.m. to join us here. So we are very grateful to her commitment to the show.
Absolutely. Wouldn't have it any other way. It's the only time group of people that I'll get out of bed for.
Yes, yes, I love it. Rude jokes, getting out of bed. This is going exactly where I want it to go. All right.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Cool. Kletso, how are you, my doll?
I'm good. I'm busy cooking here because I'm so hungry. But I'm good. Hectic day, but good.
What are you making for dinner?
You know what? I can't even explain it because it's just a mixture of everything. I haven't done like a grocery that is making me happy, so I'm just using everything and anything that I can find in the fridge and just throwing it all together. So I don't know what that's gonna be like, but yeah.
Oh my God. I remember last week we started off our show with about 15 minutes of talking about grocery prices.
Exactly. So
We did, didn't we?
that I bought last week were not good enough because now I need to go back and buy more stuff. So yeah.
All right. Well, I hope it comes out well and it's yummy. Let us know when it's done. And Sarah, welcome all the way from Greece. Good to have you here with us this evening. We can't hear you. Are you speaking? I think Sarah's dropped off as well with internet connections. Let's try again. Geez, we're having a...
God, it's ruggy today.
I know. We're not having a very good kickoff here.
No, but we'll get through it. We always do.
Yeah. How's your week been, Nieta? What have you been up to? Are you moving around? Are you in the same place?
No, I'm in the same place at the moment. The workload's been pretty hectic. I've been working with a new client. She's an Australian athlete who's about to do well, if you know the size of Australia, she is about to do a charity run from Perth to Sydney, which is like some crazy, I think it's like 3,000 Ks or something. She's going to be running 100 Ks a day. I don't know how to convert that in miles, but it's pretty massive. So I'm doing her branding and stuff like that for the event.
Nice.
Working with the guys at Ruse and trying to get myself a Stacks Invader.
Hey, I got one.
People aren't aware of. Oh, did you actually get one?
I swear to God. I didn't even, I don't know how to like look at what's going on with block times and stuff. Okay, so I don't even know how that works. So I was basically just going on every say twice a day and then just clicking mint and hoping. And the next thing, one appeared in my wallet. I was like, no ways. How lucky is that?
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm a bit jelly.
I know, and it's pink. I'm so excited.
And some alpha, there might be a possibility of me creating a DMT collection very soon. I've just got to finish off some artwork, put the idea to pen to paper, and I'll be speaking to the boys about doing my own collection. So get in there early, eh?
Yeah, that's so cool. For everybody who doesn't know, there's this new, what is it, Neta? It's like a new...
So basically, if you think about ordinals and how your basically minting or inscribing direct to chain. So you're describing direct to Bitcoin. It's very similar to the protocol where it allows you to mint directly to chain. So say, for example, not to put that bad energy out there, but say if Gamma crashed or whatever, you kind of lose your NFTs with Gamma if they did go. But with the DMT, you're actually doing it direct to change, so it's permanent. It stays there. So yeah, the artwork's directly on chain on Stacks. So yeah, it makes it very unique. It only just happened, or was created over a week ago, so it's not been done before. It's pretty awesome. Done by Mr. Ian Banksia, one of my Sydney side friends. So yeah, pretty proud to be part of that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So is that why there's only one per block?
Yeah, so essentially the you can only do one per block, being that's part of the protocol. So what people are doing is they're going either to the website or going to Gamma, to the collection and trying to mint. So if there's, say, 10 of us trying to mint on that one block, and I think over 34 days, and the amount of blocks, can't recall what the exact block amounts through that period, but if one person minted every block, it would take 34 days for it to mint out. So
Right.
yeah, it's kind of interesting when you look at like the whole concept behind it. Why it's all just one per block, I'm not sure, but I think that's got to do with the miners and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I can't believe it. I looked, I literally I tried a couple of times, and also I didn't put any high like gas fees in. I was just doing it for like 0.01 cent or whatever it was, and I just thought I'm just gonna like keep trying, and I tried for like say 3 days, and I probably did it like, 4 or 5 times over that period, and I was like, I opened up my wallet, and there it was, and it's pink. Can you believe it? I'm so excited. I know.
Yeah, no, look, I've been pretty vague. Like, I go, I got to remember to check. And then I'm looking. I'm like, all right, well, being Aussies and all that Aussie created, so I'm sure I've got to do it outside. So I'm just did it now, and I'm hoping because I'm outside of the Aussie takeover that I might get to go in.
So for anybody who wants to know what these are, they're called Stacks Invaders, and you can go and check them out. What's the way? Is it stacksinvaders.xyz?
Stacks. Yes, Stacks. What's it called? / I'll copy it and I'll put it in the comments. Give me a second. I'll just put the website in there.
Anyway, it's a really interesting new thing that's going on with.
Well, it's a new protocol. It's something that hasn't been done, and it's always that exciting part of being the first in collecting the art or being part of that protocol. Because at the end of the day, everything that we're doing here is pretty much going to be written down in history. We're a community of firsts. Everything that we build, everything we create here, it's not been done before. So it's kind of exciting at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's really exciting. So yeah, at least I'm glad I've got one to, and one of the mine's number 520. So I like it.
Nice.
Anyway, let's see if we've got Sarah on. Sarah, do you think we can?
I am hoping you can hear me. Can you hear me now?
We can.
Yes.
Welcome from Greece.
Loud and clear.
Yes, thank you. And this is not uncommon. We have been battling for 10 days with internet here. It's rough being on an island. Not rough in the real sense of it because it's sea and sand and sun, but it's rough to get online. So I've managed. And yeah, it's been much frustration for people because people, of course, come with the expectation of high-speed Wi-Fi, and that's not really what happens in some locations.
Yeah.
So it's been a challenge for those who are very used to that. But
Sarah,
I think it's made for fun.
Sarah's busy doing a writing retreat in Greece, so that's why she's there.
That's right.
And how's it?
Yes, I'm here
Sounds
with a group
amazing.
of, it's been fantastic. So I've had a group of 11 writers and another 10 arriving tomorrow and another 10 thereafter. So we've had 30 writers. We've had poets, script writers, screenplay writers, novelists, memoir and nonfiction writers. And of course, we've been talking a lot about this domain and how can we take this writing into these NFTs? How would it work? What would it look like? So it sparks a lot of conversation around the tables. And quite a few of the older generation saying, what are NFTs? So, and then the 21-year-old authors going, let me explain. So it's really interesting because, there's, it's been really exciting to look at how it can work in this digital world with the written word. So,
and
we played a little bit with that.
Today, Sarah hooked up with her Xverse wallet and finally managed to get that going. So that's awesome. And the reason I asked for your wallet address was because I bought a little welcome to Stacks Prezi for you. I bought you your name, sarahbullen.btc. So I'm going to send that to you.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so now
fantastic.
Now your wallet address isn't that like 62 million character thing. Now it's just going to be sarahbullen.btc. That's your wallet address and your digital identity. So that's on its way.
Fantastic. I feel like I've been unplugged from the matrix or I'm in it. I'm not sure. One of the two. So it's very exciting.
Cool, man. So good to have you here. Thanks for joining. Gavin, hi.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, hi. Hello and welcome.
Thank you. I'm Gavin. I don't think I've ever joined the space before, but happy to be here. I'm an illustrator and traditional artist based in Nairobi. Thank you.
It's so wonderful to have you. I own one of your pieces. Do you know that? I got a piece of Ethereum a year or two ago.
Seriously, which one?
Yeah, and I don't remember the name now. I can look on my computer, but and I've been a fan actually for quite some time. So when I saw that you had joined, I was so excited. So very big welcome to you.
Thank you. That's nice to hear.
Yeah. So yeah, if you do have any questions or anything about it, please fire away. We're happy to answer anything. And I think everybody can learn from everybody's questions, specifically because I think we've got a couple of new listeners in the space. So please pop your hand up as we go along, And then hello to Kevin. Welcome to you.
Yeah, how are you, good Kitty? How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. Very nice to see you.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like Gavin, I'm also from Nairobi, Kenya, and I'm excited to actually join this space for the second time. And I've made an application about, one of my projects, and if given a chance, I would love to really share about it.
All right. Would you like to? Shall we kick it off with you then? Would you like to chat about it? Go for it.
You mean if I can share about it right now?
Yeah. Would you like to? Are you ready?
Yeah, I would really love to make a pitch about it.
I can't hear anybody. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? I can hear Kevin.
I can't hear Kevin at all. And Calypso's speaker's moving, but I don't hear anything.
No, my speaker wasn't moving.
Excuse me if I get rugged. I'll come back up if it drops out.
Yeah, geez, we're having trouble with Twitter today. It's so annoying. For anybody who's new to these spaces, sometimes this happens, and we just have to kind of work through it. Sometimes, connections are terrible, or it just seems to, I don't know, rug out. So bear with us if it is sounding a bit dodgy. All right, Kevin, sorry about that. I can hear you loud and clear, so fire away.
Oh yeah, once again, thank you, good Kitty. Let me first introduce myself formally. I am Kevin. I'm from Nairobi, Kenya. Kenya is a very, very beautiful country. And we have so much that is going on. So actually, I'm an NFT artist. I use AI tools to make artists art that is African inspired. And basically, I tell African stories in form of artwork. And I've been having collections from object to foundation to exchange to manifold to OpenSea. And the pitch that I made, the project that I'm applying for the grant is called I Touched a Child's Heart. So basically, in 2017, there was this children home, or rather an orphanage, that I was guiding some of the kids to make some artwork, physical artwork. Just anything that is physical to basically improve on their creativity and on their skills. And so I've been having contact with this children's home, and I'm planning, or rather, I'm intending to go back to that children's home and teach the kids about the use of AI, because Kenya is positioned in a way that it's actually the IT hub for East and Central Africa. And I'm so much convinced that if we train our kids as early as possible on the use of the new AI technology, especially from where I come from, I think they will be able to be equipped well enough to take up their positions in AI and technology. So, uh, so I think Coletto mic is on. Okay. Yeah, so I made a pitch about that project, and I made an application about it. And my intention is to start teaching these kids, especially on August holiday. We have an August holiday for the kids here in Kenya, so they will be breaking for like a month or so. So if my grant is accepted, I would love to actually go back to that orphanage and train these kids, because I know they have a hunger for learning, because I've interacted with them for quite a long time. And I believe it's a chance that if given, I'll also be able to extend this, to the kids, because they have quite a lot that they need. But of course, because of the situation from where they are from, they cannot be able to access maybe these facilities. They cannot be able to actually learn. They don't have maybe anyone to train them. But I'm feeling so much convinced that it's the right chance or the right opportunity for these kids to learn these skills. So yeah, I'm intending to actually train them on crypto and blockchain. And because they have a music group, they have a music band that they produce this gospel music, and they've been able to sell their music across the country and also internationally. And I'm actually intending, if all goes well, I would love to see their music as NFTs. I'll also love to see their artwork as NFTs, and especially on the Stacks ecosystem. So that is what I've applied for as for the grant opportunity. And maybe if given a chance, I'd really love to put this into action. So that is what I applied for. I believe if anyone has a question about it, I'll be very much willing to actually answer it. Thank you so much, good Kitty.
Thank you so much, Kevin. And what a wonderful, what a wonderful, just concept and a wonderful thing to do. I think giving back to the community. And I agree with you that training young people or teaching young people about these or giving them the tools for what is going to be the future, I think that's wonderful. How old are the kids?
They are from, the children's home has kids from even months up to those who are in high school. But I actually intend to train those that are from around grade 4 to those who are in high school. Did you hear
Yes.
me well?
Sorry, yes, I heard
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
All right. And what sort of length of course would, how long would you kind of, or do you think that would take to give them sort of first level tooling or
Uh,
understand?
yes. I've planned for 3 weeks during that time that they will be breaking for the long holidays. But also it's a time that they have so many visitors, so they actually are booked in advance. So I want to squeeze myself to have maybe 2 or 3 days in a week to basically train them full day, and then roll it for the 3 weeks that they will be around for the long holidays. Yeah.
And will it just be yourself doing sort of one-on-one or small classes?
Yeah, so currently I intend to do it alone, but they have a very young manager who, if I can be able to train him, he can be able to actually extend this knowledge even when I'm not around, because he's able to teach these kids in so many skills. So I want to impact the skills to them, but I know, of course, because of the time limit, I know we wouldn't have ample time to actually teach them everything at a go. But I intend to train their manager who can be able to extend this knowledge to them when I'm not around. Yeah.
And what is your experience in sort of, why have you chosen AI specifically? Do you have a background in it?
Yeah, so like I mentioned, actually create all my pieces using AI. I'm also a web developer, but also a Web2 developer. So I use a lot of AI in coding, and basically I'm well versed in the use of AI.
Amazing. And I love the idea of being able to kind of almost end the program with being able to mint a collection from the children. So I love that as well. I think that would be a wonderful thing to add into the proposal, just so we also get to experience what you've achieved, and what the children have done. I think that would be amazing.
Yeah, 100%. So, because you had mentioned in the proposal that we actually have some milestones. So, basically, this is what I intend to do for the first week. I intend to train these kids on the basic use of computer, especially laptop and the drawing iPads. And then now the second week, I intend to train them on the use of AI. And then the third week, I intend to train them on the crypto and blockchain ecosystem, and of course, mint their own NFTs. So basically, that is my program. If my proposal is accepted, that is what I intend to do with the kids. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing, Kevin. I don't know if anybody else has got any questions, but I think that sounds really cool to me. So I'm excited to go through your application.
Much appreciated, Kitty. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just have one question. It sounds like such an amazing project, by the way. Like the social impact it will have would definitely be really amazing. And would probably outlive like most of us in here. So that's amazing. I just wanted to ask, what kind of artworks do the kids make at the moment?
I will want to actually leave them to be creative enough because when you're starting in NFTs, in most cases, you don't have a niche for yourself. So number one, because they already have their music, I want to actually encourage them to mint their music as NFTs, but also artworks. But I want to leave that for them to be actually creative, to be creative enough. I don't want to actually put them in a box to tell them that this is what I want you to create. I want them to be free to be creative enough, and I am so much confident that they will produce something beautiful.
That's amazing. So will the outcome of your project be that you're gonna teach the kids about AI and NFTs, and crypto as a whole, and then you're also gonna get them to mint one of their music as NFTs on stacks, or am I getting that wrong?
Yeah, you're right, 100%. So it's to
Nice.
train them. Yeah, just like I mentioned in the last week, I would love to see their NFTs in the Stacks ecosystem.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Well, please keep coming to the spaces. Please keep sharing what you're doing. And I very, very much, like I said, look forward to going through your proposal. Very, very happy to have you here.
Yeah, much appreciated. Thank you so much.
Awesome. All right. I'd like to welcome Rocky. How you doing, Rocky? Welcome.
What's up, everybody? How's it going?
Yeah, good. Thank you. Good. Thanks. How are you?
Hello, hello.
Doing well. Excited to be here. Wanna share some ongoing projects with you guys. If you guys are interested.
Yes, please.
Absolutely.
I'm very, very.
And I can actually hear you. Sorry, honey. I can actually hear what's going on now. Fantastic.
That's awesome. So my question is, so what is your favorite like music player or music platform that you guys use? Would love to get some user consensus here on music listening platforms. What do you guys like?
Okay, let's
I
go
like
around.
Spotify.
Sorry, Coletta.
Yeah, sorry, I was saying I like Spotify.
Yeah, I'm a Spotify. It's kind of like the only real general option at the moment that has everything in one place.
Yeah, no Apple Music lovers. Anybody remember Winamp?
Used to.
Am I dating myself?
You're showing your age.
Oh, I use LimeWire. Don't worry. Even back before Winamp. Or no, Winamp was probably first.
I remember Google Music. You know, the branding would work pretty well with Bitcoin. The orange and white, very Bitcoin branding.
Am I the only one that still listens to like over-the-air radio broadcasts?
I was listening to one a little while back, some kind of digital radio online, but
Do you have
I can't remember what it's
a
called.
radio trip?
Oh, I have a cassette player still. Come on now. I think my Sony Walkman's here somewhere.
Love it.
Guys, I'm busy moving and I'm busy unpacking like piles of junk that's been in like storage forever. And I've found one of those, it's like a CD player that's got those earphones on. And I remembered when you used to put your CD player in that thing and walk, and it just basically used to jump every 2 minutes.
That's a Walkman. That's the
Yeah, but you
Walkman.
used to
No,
get one.
that's the Discman. The Walkman was the cassette
Oh,
player.
the disc. Ah,
Where
yeah,
you had to flip
Jesus,
it
that
over
goes back.
halfway through.
Oh my God, that was
And if you did it go off? It kind of got skipped if you put it on its side and stuff.
So it just kept skipping as you were going along. You'd like me.
So now, Rocky, you're going to learn real quick that you come in, you ask one question, and then we go off into like 15 minutes of nostalgia and talk about other things, and then we eventually come back to you on your question.
It does
No,
go,
no,
but
good. It's fun.
sorry.
Well, at least you're learning the difficulties that this is real life problems that we dealt with growing up.
So, Trip, your favorite is a transistor radio and a Sony Walkman. Rocky, I hope that's been helpful to you.
No, it's all good. I think this is good user data that I'm collecting. We like to use some old school technology, and it's good to find out
Well,
what we like about them, right? Maybe it's the
you know what I like about the Sony Walkman? It will work in Greece when all the internet goes down.
yeah. I think Stacks Unity. I think you had a question, right? You've had your hands up for a little bit.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
I don't know. Do you still have a question or a comment?
Stacks
All right.
Unity.
I guess follow-up question, does anyone use like NFT music platforms? So I think the popular ones is Audius on sort of the East Solana side, and then there's like Sound.xyz, right? Maybe show of hands. Anyone familiar with this platform?
Sound XYZ I'm familiar with.
How do you like Sound.xyz?
Yeah, it's okay. I think searching for, I know I was searching for someone that I knew, and I had a little bit of an issue finding them, but otherwise it plays all right if you got the speakers for it.
Looks like we got a Bitcoin musician who came up. What are your thoughts on the state of music NFTs? Love to hear your thoughts.
Hey, Trihana, how you doing? Were you asking Trihana, Rocky?
Yeah, you want to go ahead? I saw your description there on your profile. Would love to hear your thoughts on sort of what are Bitcoin, like music on Bitcoin. What does that look like?
Oh, he's jumped down. Just we're having such bad connection issues here.
I'll get out my Sage and do a new energy reset here. We have nothing moving forward but good connections.
Everybody,
God, that sounds woo.
Let's see if he's able to come back up again. But yeah, I know Violetta did. She's done a lot of work. She's done some stuff on Bitcoin. She released that. Have you seen it? Have you seen Violetta's stuff, Rocky?
No, not yet. I'd love to check it out. Would you like to share a bit about what your work is like, Kaletsa?
No, I think Good Kitty's talking about Violetta. I'll throw something up on the nest from her, but yeah, she's probably one of the more well known on the Bitcoin side with on-chain music, and kind of left the old school music industry and didn't look back, and is kind of just moving forward strictly on the Web3 stuff.
And if I recall, she one of her NFT or her ordinals, music ordinals, that it was like the largest file that was inscribed with the video and so forth. I couldn't remember how big it was.
She did a single shot video.
Mm-hmm.
Single, just ran the camera and managed to get the file size small enough to put it on to Bitcoin. So an acoustic track and a video clip, and it went on. Yeah. So she's working tirelessly to kind of advanced music in the Bitcoin environment. But again, like with everything, it's a file size issue, and obviously there's no players on Bitcoin specifically.
I put the account up there. But Rocky, definitely give a follow and follow her into the other spaces because she does a lot of spaces with like who is it? Kane something. He's real big on the Bitcoin side
Yeah, I've talked
for
to
the
Kane.
music stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's cool. I think he was on audio for a little while, right?
Kane.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing some research for this music NFT app. I've been kind of the project is called audiobox.fun for now. I want to make music NFTs fun on Bitcoin. That's the idea. Just like some rough numbers, right? Like I think like global like music streaming market is like north of like 20 billion or something like that. And this is like, old data. I'm sure it's like more now than in the past, right? I think like Spotify, their revenue model, like they're making billions of dollars, right? I think the problem is that the Spotify doesn't really pay the artists than the musicians very well, right? And so I've been kind of thinking about like newer models that we can do. So maybe music streaming through NFTs could be a thing, right? I was talking to Haz, I think HZ, I think that's how you say his profile name, but those guys they're working on like a subscription technology on Stacks, which is super cool. We want to make like a demo, just like a simple like minting page, like mint your music on chain and what that looks like. Because these things like they can't live on chain itself, right? Like the blockchain would just get way too big if you put everyone's music directly on the blockchain, right? And so I'm thinking about like how much the hosting would cost, right? How would you host all of these files and have an actual application and a business around it, a revenue model that would be sustainable? One for the platform, so they could pay developers, add features, right, and things like that. But also come up with a way that compensates the artists and musicians themselves fairly, right? Instead of the current model, which is what we're subscribing to with Spotify. Following me so far? Is that good?
Yep. Keep going. Awesome.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Go ahead, Nieta.
Oh, yeah, I said for you to go for it. Yeah, on understanding what you're saying.
So would love to kind of hear what people think on this, but for me, like why I love Spotify early on was that they improved on the apps that came before them, right? So I mentioned like Google Music, and then they even sort of beat out Apple Music, and Apple is like sort of the king of like UI and UX, right? I think they really shot themselves in the foot when your iTunes library, like they basically said that, oh, sorry, like you can't pass on your collection in your iTunes library. So even though you paid for all the singles and the albums that you bought, they basically own the rights to that, right? And so how do we, we're spending money on these things, right? How do we take ownership of the music collection that we have, right? When it's digital. And so with Spotify, like I think their UI and UX is really, really good. I think we gravitate just like towards things that are well designed. And so I was thinking of just doing a streaming platform that just has good UI UX, right? If we did nothing else different, right, and we only did one thing, it would be a music streaming app on Stacks that has really, really good UI UX. It's easy to use. You connect your wallet and you own the NFTs, if nothing else, right? So that's sort of phase one. Sort of phase two on the idea of Audio Box is Blockface is down there. He runs geometry of music and he teaches music to little kids, kind of relates it to math and science, right? We've noticed this like human behavior, right? So we know that TikTok is a thing. Even LinkedIn has recently added short form videos to LinkedIn on the mobile app, right? Amazon has short form videos for product reviews, right? We have, YouTube Reels, right? We have Instagram Reels. So pretty much every platform, if you want to be if you want to be good, you have some form of short form videos, right? And so I wanted to like combine those ideas, right? So you have the good UI UX of Spotify, right? You have the NFT music minting, right? And then you pair it with short form videos like TikTok, because people are very used to sort of the endless scroll, right? And you just kind of scroll through. I noticed this behavior too, is that a lot of my friends, they'll listen to sort of the hook of the song. So it's typically the first 30 seconds to like a minute, right? And then they're on to the next track. Like if they're not feeling the vibe of the song, it's on to the next song. It's typically whoever is on the passenger seat. That's kind of like how they're kind of traversing through like discovering new songs, right? So I noticed like that behavior with TikTok scrolling, and then sort of the NFT minting and the sharing of sound.xyz. Like I think that's very interesting, is because now on X, we don't really have the short character sort of messaging anymore. Like, remember when the platform was called Twitter, right? And we tweet and the tweets are short. It's no longer a thing, right? But yeah, I like this idea of like sharing a song and having like a tweet sort of message, and then having like a timeline, right, where you're sharing songs with. So there's like a social aspect, and you see this in Venmo and Cash App and things like that as well. So what's up, Trippin?
Oh, hey. No, I love the idea. I think like the whole music side of thing is just this huge gap, in the ecosystem waiting to be filled. And nobody's a few teams have tried it, and some things have stuck better than others. But I love the approach of like kind of thinking about it not necessarily from a how can I make this work with NFTs perspective, but really just from a let's talk to the users. What are the things you like about Spotify? What are the things you don't like about Spotify? Where are the friction points that cause you issues? What's really important to you? Figure that out. Figure out like some UX design and like that best in class UI that you were talking about. And then once you have all that done, then start to look at, okay, what would this look like on Stacks, right? And where are the touch points where we could integrate in smart contracts and ownership and things like that. Um, because I think there's a lot of people that are working in like different small sections that could all be plugged into that, best in class UI, right? Maybe you want to rate artists. Well, maybe you could tap into Zero Authority for that. Maybe you want to do revenue splits. Maybe you could use some of the stuff I'm working on. Well, what about the subscriptions? Well, then you tap into what, Haas is working on. So I think, maybe kind of taking a step back away from the on-chain stuff and really just thinking about what do people care about in their music players. Are you using this during a workout? Do you want this to work in a car? Do you care about music videos and things like that? Do you want the background on the artist? All of those things, um, as a first pass will just let you kind of move quick and free and not get tied up on a lot of the technology side of it.
Yeah, for sure. Like I've already have sort of a clone of the Spotify UI UX design on Figma. So we're kind of like the team is doing sort of an audit of the idea. So we're combining elements, just the UI UX portion of it, and then making a interactive prototype, right? Based on Spotify, on sort of the reels from TikTok, and then the minting process that we're seeing on Audius and Sound.xyz, right? And then you're totally right, right? The on-chain stuff, right? Uh, I'm not a specialist in it, and so I've sort of handed that off to Haas and his team. And I'd love to kind of talk to you more about what you're working on, Trip and Monkey, and then see how that plays in for sure.
That's awesome. I hope to, if you haven't taken a look, take a look at that, like the proposal. Good Kitty knows a whole lot more about that than I do, but like the proposal type form and things like that, because, you know, boiling that down to just, okay, here's the 8 MVP features that we're really targeting, or the 6 MVP features, not like, you know, everything that the app's going to do, and just trying to get those nailed down into a proposal with a small roadmap on it's probably a nice healthy activity.
Yeah, for sure. I think just following sort of the EXO sort of mindset. I think one of the questions in the chat bot that we made was like, what would be your slogan for the app? I think I came up with we're workshopping it, but I think the one I really liked was like, discover new music, prove it on Bitcoin. So that's that's sort of the play on how that involves with stacks.
Nice. No, I like it. I think I pinned one other one up there for you to look at too. That's Jim.btc. He is working in the music area, mainly on chain, mainly layer one, in using ordinals. He's doing a bunch of different sampling of, you know, synthesizers and different things, and building out a sequencer where you can kind of do your own kind of music, like EDM type things, and with the samples, and use, you know, an 808 bass kick and this and that, and, you know, put the loops all together and everything. And what it does is, instead of trying to make a full song, all those samples in Tone.js are on layer one, and it basically just saves your song as the configuration to use all of those assets, and then put them together, and then play the song based off of those existing assets. That's a pretty neat one too to check out.
That's pretty cool. Thanks for the share.
Amazing. I absolutely love this. As you know, my heart is very close to music. So this is something that I'm extremely interested in. And the proposal, Rocky, because I love it. And anybody in the room that knows me would know that I would just go like, yes, 100 hearts, we're done. We can close the call now. But yeah, does anybody else have any comments or questions or anything about Rocky's proposal? Blockface, I see you're up here. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Right side of the bars, right side of the ground. Rocky told me about the space today, so I wanted to come in because I've worked with comedians and helped them get on Sirius XM radio and helped them make actually a quite substantial amount of royalties. So I was wondering, if is there an ISRC code equivalent in Web3 right now, or is there still a format war for this ISRC code, the International Sound Recording Copyright?
There is not yet, no.
Ooh, opportunity.
Yeah. That is, I think it's a huge thing, you know, with this, because all we're doing now is really creating NFTs, but you know, they're not linked to any traditional music listening or music use case, you know, how you would use an ISRC code.
So the reason I asked is,
for the royalties. Yeah.
so the reason I asked is I had to learn this from scratch. So comedian has an album, you submit the album to Sirius XM radio, and they say, we would like you to submit the album as it appears in Sound Exchange. That's what they told us. And that's when my education started, looking into Sound Exchange and all of these royalty intermediaries that, like TuneCore, Ditto Music, DistroKid, that people are using right now in Web3 as independent artists. So whatever I can do to help. I just don't know how we can bridge that gap between how music is currently distributed through SiriusXM and other radio stations, and how we might want to if there's a clear divorce there, or is there a hybrid model? ISRC tied to an NFT? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it would need to be. I think if you think about it, when your RSC, I can never say it right, and I work with them. The ISRC code, you just basically, in the olden days, when we used our Sony Walkmans, you would have to embed the code into the master, right? But now you actually just submit that code. So you put it on something called your label copy, and then you hand that off to your publisher, and then your publisher kind of connects the dots. But at the same time, with all these sort of copyright laws that you've got around music that you put out there on DistroKid and all that sort of stuff, that's picked up by software or whatever it is that we don't have, if you know what I mean. So I don't know if Web 2 and Web 3, well, they can't read each other, right? So I don't know if the traditional, if we did use the traditional okay, you see, every time
Yeah,
it's going to come
no,
up.
I'm following that. Is there a way for us to say, hey, if you're going to make an ISRC code, this is your Web3 version of the ISRC code? That would be friggin', I would present that to a lot of people. And not to like brag or anything, but we have people that have won Grammys for music asking us what the future is for this. And we spoke to them as late as last week. So there are eyes on this. Not to like beg, brag, or any of that stuff, but there are a lot of eyes on this right now. This is why I asked.
Yeah, it's huge. And I think it's one of the reasons also why labels can't really jump into this. It's because we don't have, in Web 2, the infrastructure that we need to take these from, what really is just an MP3, and it can't connect into that web that of technology that we use in Web 2 to be able to allow the artists to earn those royalties. Because again, you're looking at artist royalties split between singers and songwriters, royalties splits for producers. The list of royalty splits and publishing rights, mechanical royalties, um, it's definitely not been solved. And I think anybody who can solve that has taken the very first giant leap into taking this whole thing into something where, big artists can then stand up and go, right, now this is going to work.
Well, there's a lot of artists that were popular in the 80s and 90s, and because of the way contracts are written, they are regaining control of their masters. And I'm not sure if they're going to
Yeah.
pursue the same 1980s strategy of IP that they did in the past. So I think the market is right for this. And even if we failed at something like this, it would be better to lose than quit.
Mm. And I just think we're sitting in the right room, because to be building these things on Bitcoin through stacks, this is where you want it to be. This is where we need to be setting these huge global trends, because that's where people are going to feel the safest. So there's a massive opportunity here in music and in the back end of music, how it functions behind just listening to your track on Spotify. So if do you know how to have you got a starting point on how to start working on this?
I believe,
Since you know everything, because every time I listen, you have a solution. So I'm assuming there's a solution here.
I mean, I believe that there is a Web2 process for this. And if you look at it, the ISRC code is the Web2 NFT of music IP rights. Is that fair to say? The ISRC code is the Web2 NFT for royalties for songs?
That's right. Okay, yes, because that's the imprint of
That's their equivalent of the unique.
ultimate imprint.
And so, not to say that I have the final solution, but I feel like if we understand how things are working in Web 2, and we can create a system that almost, this is going to sound weird. You know how Stacks is a layer 2 on Bitcoin? What if the Stacks audio thing was kind of a layer Web 3 on what's already existing in the ISRC codes?
Yeah. The way that I would architecture it is we obviously don't have access to this, right? It would probably have to be an integration or a partnership of sorts. You would just scrape the data, right? So you have a database of the code, you index it, you mark it with the relevant relational data, and then obviously the settlement on chain is going to happen way faster
Sorry,
than
Rocky, what if the .btc is where the royalties got paid? Sorry.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great place to do it. All right. Like, I think to start, we can do sort of like a free version because every app has like a free domain or a free username, right? So like it would be, Rocky and the Block dot audiobox dot fun. So that's your free one that if you want to set up quick payments, like that kind of goes to your account, but you can override it or link it to your own sort of domain if you want to with Bitcoin name service, right? That's kind of how I imagine it because I think it's too hard to get every app and every wallet to sort of agree on sort of the integration right now, at least, right? How BNS is implemented in their app. Maybe in the future it's different, right? But I think right now, just to get things rolling in sort of an MVP beta version, is that royalties could just be paid to your subdomain that is your profile that you create on Audiobox, right? And then these codes, again, it's probably a database that lives somewhere. If we can partner up and integrate with that, then you can come up with a way to like, oh, we mint it, it's probably pending. And then once the application is done in the Web 2 version, it's confirmed. And then there's a process in sort of the administration side to sort of it's just data, right? And so your status of your code is maybe pending for like a couple days, maybe hopefully not longer than a couple weeks until that's approved, and then you just have a process to change that metadata in your. It's just a smart contract, right? Or maybe it's an NFT that represents your royalty rights to that code, and then that gets added onto audio box officially, right? And then that's how so like typically like for example working with Shopify, right? If you become a partner, you have to hit like a threshold to cash out, right? Your royalties. And so like we can probably implement something similar where it's like, oh, you can't cash out until you've like approved your music in sort of the code process to be official, right? I think Audiobox could be a great way to basically be an indexer of the music NFTs that lives on Stacks. That's kind of how I imagine it.
Yeah, and I think with the codes, I mean, those can go into the metadata. How I'm not sure because I don't really understand how technology works. But how easy is it for somewhere else to read the metadata of an NFT? Because you could also just like write a code, like whatever, if we change it and we say it's not the ISRC code anymore, it's something else. And then you just put it in the metadata of the NFT.
Yeah, I mean, metadata doesn't necessarily have to be permanent, right? Like the novelty of blockchain is not it's like the immutability of the contract itself, but the metadata doesn't necessarily have to be immutable. You can have dynamic NFTs, right? Where the metadata changes as the state of that property or that ownership changes.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I just want to jump in. Gary Reiger and I have actually been working on a remix app on Stacks, and part of what we're doing is revenue splits that are attached to it's part of the NFT metadata, and so I don't know if he's able to jump on and explain more of the guts of it, but because what we're doing is we've created a little mixer that will mix 2 8-bar loops and of course each of those loops is going to have several creators, and maybe these loops are from a song that's already on Spotify and has an ISRC number. And so as part of the NFT, the ISRC number gets registered as well. So, and I know we're also working, we've also split the copyright, just into composition and sound recording. And, so it's sort of the early building blocks of this sort of thing. And I don't know if he's able to jump on or not to talk more about it, but I just wanted to jump in because it's exciting to hear, what other people are doing and thinking about. And so this is really fun.
Hey, amazing. Thank you for joining us, Sandy. Who shall I send an invite? Sorry, what was the name of the person?
Oh, Gary Ryder. He's I don't know.
Is he here?
Yeah, he is, but I don't know. He might be busy and multitasking. So
Oh, there we go. He's adding a speaker as we speak. There we go. Hey, Gary.
Hey, Gary.
Hi, Gary. Welcome.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm good. Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Of course. Yeah, I went out for a little. I don't know if there was a question or like I can just kind of talk about that mixer.
Yeah, go for it. That'd be great to hear about. Sorry, Sandy.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I pulled you in awkwardly, Gary. It was just getting very
It's
excited.
okay. No, we were changing the filter on these like AC things, so I was like kind of scrubbing it down. I like to just listen to these, but thank you for having me. Yeah, we Sandy reached out to me and kind of mentioned her background in music and the things that she wanted to do, and I think she's been trying to do this for years. And timing was sort of right, and we were working on some stuff together. So yeah, what's interesting is that registering a loop and sort of being part of the community of loops, quote unquote. Um, it's a completely sort of off-chain thing. So Sandy, I guess in this case, is sort of qualifying the loops that come in, so anyone can register a loop, as an MP3. And then essentially, when you're on the app, you can load the loops that are, quote unquote, approved. And there's definitely some sort of order to them. I think Sandy's background in music is really helpful here. So the idea is to provide these loops. So one could be a vocal, one could be I guess, a backing track or a beat. And then you can essentially load them onto a mixer. The mixer looks just like a DJ mixer. So it looks close to like a CDJ, something like that, where you've got a crossfader, you've got effects. And, the fun piece of this is that you sort of like loop things together, record it, and then you export it as an NFT, as an 8-bar NFT. And then I think one of the more interesting things we did was that when you actually mix it into an NFT, you're paying 3 stacks. And the goal, those 3 stacks are going into a pool that all the contributors, so essentially all the people that made the track for the left track, plus all the people that contributed on the right track, plus the mixer. Essentially, all those people get recorded. All their shares get done by an algorithm that Sandy actually helped work on, and yeah, and then everybody gets paid out. So.
So for this system, is the sort of the royalty payout, is that immutable, or can you change it? So for example, if you set it to a particular wallet for the payout and I like lose my seed phrase or whatever, and I want to change that. Is that doable?
So I think, well, first of all, I think the best thing to do is just to take advice, and I'm lucky enough to be working on the smart contract. So if we have ideas, I'll implement them. That makes sense. But yeah, the way we have it is the person mixing is paying 3 stacks. That's just to basically create the NFT. And then from those 3 stacks, the stacks get distributed. And in terms of how that's managed, so right now it's sort of like a chain hook. So it's a read only function. What I did was I provided a lot of read only functions, which means you can always check, like, am I owed money from the royalty pool kind of thing. And with Clarity, it's fairly difficult to iterate over a really large list. So you kind of have to create a mechanism to distribute the royalties. But essentially, that information, their contribution, the metadata itself will show their stacks address and the percentage of their contribution, both for composition and production, and the that SRC number that Sandy mentioned.
I'm making a remix
Amazing.
right now as an example of the Fresh Prince Bel Air theme song. I'll post it to the bottom. I want to see like what this might look like while we're all together.
That's fun.
So Gary and Sandy, is this a protocol that it would be like basically like a SIP for Stacks itself as a sort of a standard for royalties, like NFTs with royalties, or is this something like proprietary that you guys are building as like a service?
That's a great question. I mean, I think we only just sort of got the MVP sort of out, and I think that's all up for discussion. Honestly, is that right, Gary? Would you say?
Yeah, I agree. I think if there's merit to what we've done, and even if we can improve it together, and then turn it into a SIP, that's fine. I mean, there's definitely a distribution component to it, and yeah, if I can make it more decentralized, I'm happy to. There's obviously an MVP, so we need to test it, but that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah, I think zooming way out too is like just the idea of creating just very simple Legos, so simple music Legos that have rights Legos, so that all of this is composable and decomposable in different ways. And then, yeah, then that makes it more general. And it's also very simple. I know that, music rights can get incredibly complex and multi-layered, and anyone, and even large organizations that have attempted to build parallel ones or new ones always seem to fail. So we thought we'd start with just the very basics, the essentials of composition and sound recording, and attach revenue splits to them. And then with that, and with NFTs, and wallets, God, it's amazing, um, what's possible. So yeah, we're kind of excited to you know just chat with other people and experiment and see what's useful or what's fun.
Hello. Oh, sounds really cool. I just wonder whether I think I heard Triple Monkey was working on revenue split as well. Are you guys doing something similar, or are you building on top of each other stuff?
No, I would love to. Maybe we should connect, but no, this is a completely kind of unique thing. I wasn't really familiar with what he was working on.
I think Gary had Gary, didn't you have? I feel like you had with Haylayer, your marketplace. You had revenue splits way back.
Yeah, I think we really were probably one of the first to do that. But it's interesting, kind of learning from so much and just understanding the market. I would probably and that's something to be discussed at the right time. But I would have probably done the smart contracts differently. So yeah, but I definitely we did do we were really early and probably the first to do royalty splits on stacks.
Yeah, that's great. Speak to Tripunky, and I just want to make super quick comment, Rocky. Gary's had this NFT marketplace on Stacks earlier on, and he managed to have the fiat rail. So if you if you want to chime with someone on fiat rail like Gary, you can speak to Gary. But yeah, I think it just shows again like we really need the global visibility of what each other is working on, Rocky. I think the other project is probably relevant again. Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, Triple Monkey, Gary.
Yeah, I definitely want to learn more. I think there's probably a lot of crossover in the different areas.
Absolutely. Yeah. Exciting.
Yeah, for Audio Box, the plan is to open source this. Maybe there's like a delay of some time, whatever that time is. But in terms of the UI UX portion of it and the front end code, we do plan to open source and contributing. Would love to work with you.
I think we should all just target to make like Stacks the music chain. Like this is just where it all goes, you know.
That
Because
would
I
be
haven't seen
amazing.
anybody do it well yet.
Yeah, right. That is so true.
How do we get the royalties to the BNS address?
Gary, did you want to
Yeah.
reply to that? I don't know if you can.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's too hard. Just sort of like the library, I guess, needs to recognize the Stacks address to the BNS address. But yeah, you just got to put that on the roadmap. I think someone, wasn't there a conversation about someone spearheading BNS? I think if someone sort of makes that a top priority, then we can support them and implement their stuff.
Maybe this is a great way, Hero, for the tracks to collaborate, and maybe we introduce somebody from BNS to have a conversation with us, because I know BNS are looking at ways to, they've also got a program within this. So
Yeah, so BNS is not very active community. You can almost like Hattie is the one sort of trying to revive it, and all the current community members they are not very active. You have Snazzy, who is somewhat active, but he's super focused on his own sort of marketplace and in the Bitcoin startup labs. So I think we're just gonna find. I think Triple Monkey is probably the closest one to the development, the the developer side of the BNS almost. Um, but I definitely think that there was a conversation about let's bring all the use cases up because we don't know what's missing from the API. So if we have more use cases arise, and I think we are able to sort of iterate on the current API should we need to. So I think that's definitely up for having a conversation. So that's as far as I know, and I think probably the next best person to speak to Triple Monkey and Hattie to get that collaboration going.
all right, awesome. Well, I think let's everybody get in everybody's DMs, and we'll see how, where we can take this, because I've loved this conversation and I think like I can't say it enough, it's so close to my heart. So I'm happy to see this going and getting the community members together to try, like you say, make Stack the music hub of Web3. This is where they come for music. And I think we've got enough gigabrains in this room right now to make that a reality. So,
how would we
you know,
go
let's
about
forge
doing
ahead.
that next step, do you think, Good Kitty?
So
I think the next step is, sorry, Rocky.
no, go. You have next steps. Go ahead.
Do you have next steps?
Well,
maybe your next steps are better than my next steps.
I'm noting everyone who wants to get involved right now. So if I miss you, please DM me or throw me a follow. So I have Sandy over there. We have Gary Reiger, Hero, and then Good Kitty, Blockface, and then Trippin' Monkey. Yes? Did I miss anybody?
And Haas, but we know that already.
We're working with Haas already.
And also, if you want the BNS side, like maybe if there's funding there, we can leverage, then pull Hattie in. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's get BNS in there as well, because I think it'll be helpful, and there might be ways to cross collaborate there.
For sure. Yeah, so we're already working with Hattie on some other projects, and then I just got the sort of UI UX interview questionnaire back from Cincinnati, so we're working with him on the BNS side as well. So
Oh, perfect. Yeah, you
Yep.
are connected with the BNS Snazzy. That's great because he's not dev, but he's almost like managing the website and stuff like that. So yeah, good.
All right, awesome guys. Thanks. That was great. That was really cool. Thank you, Rocky. And to Sandy and to Gary and to Trip, thank you very, very much for that. It's a great conversation. I'd like to find out, I've kind of, you know, we've got Sarah here, and I kind of want to find out if there is anybody in the audience who is, if there are any writers in the audience who might possibly be working on a writing project or interested in putting a writing project together. Won't you please raise your hand and hop up on stage? Because I'd just like to find out, you know, what the vibe is out there. If anybody within our community so far, or anybody who's here so far, is interested in that. And also, Sarah, just some interesting takeaways maybe from your chats you've had over the last few weeks in Greece with the young writers and what they think about it. You know.
Yeah, I mean, firstly, I was really interested to see in some of the proposal documents that, you know, there's a need for writers who are simply writing articles on what this world entails, what NFTs are, how to access it. So that's really exciting. So what can be written is also the educational realm. So I think that's a really open field for people to start to apply for grants in. You know, and it was really interesting because a lot of the people I engaged with, their minds go to the traditional publishing output houses. So that would be your Amazons, or hosting readables on your own website, or putting it out on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. So the question is, where will it land? Like, where is the hosting of the actual content that people were wondering? And I think it's not unlike the conversation about music we've just had. Is there an app that's going to be specifically for this, that's in the Web3? So these questions came up. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I thought I had disappeared for a while. So so a lot of these questions came up. And just reflecting on the conversation around music, it's really interesting because writing is a little bit different, in which there's not often split revenues. Most often, a piece of writing is owned by the author themselves, unless there's a collaboration. So that will be an interesting conversation, because the revenue will all go directly to that person, much possibly like an artist. So the question was about where are the words hosted? you know, and I don't have the answer actually for that. So I'm also interested in that. So where do they sit? Is it on a EPUB file? Is it on the Amazon platform? Is it on the website of the author? Is it on their blog, or is it on something else?
That's also something I was wondering about, and I don't know if there's anybody here who can help us answer that, because you know, I was thinking to myself, you know, you might want to mint the cover of a book, and then you might want to, along with that cover, give somebody a link to listen to the audiobook or to have access to read the audiobook, you know, that nobody else can obviously, I mean, read the audiobook, read the file. So I also don't have that answer. Is there anybody here who could possibly help us with that?
I can definitely help out.
Sorry, Gary.
Sorry about that. My kids just got home. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna lock my door. Yeah, I think I can help out. I mean, it's interesting because a lot of people misunderstand like what an NFT really is. But I think at the end of the day, it's just a link to some data, and that data ideally is decentralized, so you always have that link up. And so where it links to, like that metadata, wherever it links to, there is a standard. So there is sort of this, and when you say metadata, it's just a bunch of text. So there's sort of this standard that, you know, you want to show the name, you want to show a description, you want to have an image, but you can add anything else to it that you want. So if you wanted another audio, another image, I mean, you could do that. It's still linked to the NFT smart contract. Everything stays the same way. So the NFT is really like that link to the smart contract versus the data itself.
But how do you click on that? Like, you know, when you open an NFT on GAT and it's got the picture, and then it's obviously got the metadata there in the little blocks next to it. But I suppose it's like with an ordinal, there must be the same sort of thing with NFTs, like where it says link and then you click somewhere. Is that the same?
Yeah. I mean, you know, generally you would have a link to the smart contract, and then you would have a link to that metadata, which usually sits on like an IPFS server. An IPFS is tied to Filecoin, and Filecoin runs like a token. People have nodes in their computer, so and therefore IPFS is technically distributed. But you know, people have their own opinions on it. You could argue there are better version, you know, better solutions, but that's kind of how it works. You're just linking things, and you know, a lot of times the data itself, unless it's encrypted a certain way, like ordinals, you know, there's some interesting things you can do, but a lot of the data itself is still centralized. It's still sitting in a database somewhere.
Yeah. And I'm going to raise another question that some of the writers spoke to me about, and it's a little bit like music. I'm assuming your aim is to be read by as many people as possible. And the question really then came up is this exclusive? Can it also be on Audible? Can it be on Amazon? Can it be in those traditional platforms that have that networking running out? And I think that was also a good one, because you're looking as a producer, as a content producer, to get as many eyeballs as possible, as many buyers as possible, right?
Well,
So that was
I
another
just had a
question.
random thought. Yeah, I just had a random thought, and maybe this is helpful. But what if you sort of like encrypt the metadata? So even though if it's on IPFS, whatever, people don't really know what they're looking at, and then you sell the decryption key on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? I mean, I'm just like, it's,
No, not to me.
yeah, you could probably have some like decryption system, and then so they would need that key. They would go into your website, put in the key, and then get the
Okay.
actual result, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. So there are a few kind of, you know, resolves to make it all quite seamless, I think, in for the both the user and the writer. Logistical things. Because theoretically, you kind of want to know what you're buying.
Yeah, and I think that's also a cool thing about being in this space. You know, it's like I've said to you before, because Sarah's new to sort of the space, and I said to her, you know, we all kind of still building it. You know, we don't really know. We're kind of trying to figure out together what we need and what we don't need. And I think the amazing thing about having these spaces and listening to people specifically talk in the art community, writers, musicians, photographers, we're here to say to the people listening who can build on stack, hey, these are the things we'd like built for us or resolved for us. So again, we just got to keep talking about it and keep sort of trying to figure out. I know Trip is also very interested in working on writing platforms. Trip just keeps coming back. Trip is like the man for everything. Trip, I don't know if you've got anything to say here. I don't know if you're busy on a call, or if you can jump back on. No, I must be busy on a call.
Good, Kitty. So just a little bit of feedback. So the one real area in which there was a huge amount of interest was in people who are writing to raise awareness for particular projects. So, for example, one of the speakers earlier with the funding around the music of the school in Kenya, it would be an aligned project of kind of writing about it or writing a piece about it. Then people buying the NFT are really aware that they're actually funding something, a good cause. They're buying into something. And the content then is aligned to a cause. So equally, I spoke to another person in Kenya as well who runs a permaculture project and has written about permaculture in a book and wants to sell NFTs to the book. So the people buying the NFT are actually buying into the concept, which I thought really worked quite well. It's almost like a funding.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, a sponsorship in a way.
Yeah, and I think you know, one of the biggest things we do have now is sort of, you know, specifically around stacks. I don't even think we have a lot of people writing sort of this kind of content, you know. I don't want to say not educational content, but content about even what we're speaking about now, you know, what the music industry is and what can happen. You know, there's a lot of education that's needed out there as well, for whatever purpose.
Absolutely, and wherever that sits as well. I don't know. Yes, exactly. A lot of articles, a lot of educational materials to be written. I think it's kind of a wide open field. In fact, the short form may work a little bit better than a full length novel. Although there is scope, and it is certainly done traditionally on the web to release chapter by chapter, which is another of the options as an NFT project, is to release a chapter at a time. But again, I'm coming back to that question of where does the actual content sit? And that's what I'm not clear, and I think a lot of writers or authors aren't clear about, which we've just been unpacking a little bit. Where does actually that chapter of the book sit on your, you know, is it on an app, is it on your website, etc.?
So as far as I understand, it sits on IPFS, right? Is that right, Gary?
Yes, that's right. And I think maybe the education is more about knowing the options, because what we find is everyone, whoever builds out the architecture for the app, you know, they're really choosing their own methodology. And so the ability to tell the difference is very important so that you can make a, you know, a good decision.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, I think, you know, I think let's keep conversations every week. And I think it just gives people listening something to think about. And, you know, and so it will grow, you know, the idea. I think currently what we the easiest way is just to create, pieces of poetry or prose or, short stories written in chunks that go across various simple NFTs. Art, I think maybe you've got something to say about this, because I've seen your hand up for a while. Would you like to join this particular conversation?
Yes, absolutely. I, good Kitty. Well, I really don't have much to say
Hello.
about. Hello, can you hear me? Can anyone hear me? Am I
Yes, I
wronged?
can hear you.
Okay, okay.
No,
I
I
really
can
don't
hear
have.
you.
Okay, I really don't have much to say about the conversation. But then I think I'm a stranger in this space right now, and I tried to click on Good Kitty's bio to try to know what the space is all about and what Stack is all about, really. I think I was reading that Stack is about a music NFT platform. So I just came up here to just because one of the main reasons why we are in the Web3 is just to network. So I'm actually here to network with people. I'm here to meet with new people. So I just want to know what Stack is all about, what the community is all about, so that I can also journey together with the community. So that was why I came up.
Okay, well, welcome to Stacks. I know it sounds like I'm turning it into an NFT community because I want to, but so Stacks is an L2 that brings smart contracts to Bitcoin, and because the transactions settle directly onto Bitcoin, it allows developers to create apps that inherit Bitcoin's security and stability, and basically allows Bitcoin to be more, right? And then the DeGrants funding program, which is what we are chatting about today on this show, was introduced last year. We started off with cohort 1. We're currently in cohort 2, and we have a $50,000 funding program that is divided between 5 tracks, NFTs being one of them. So we get a portion of that $50,000, and we are looking for writers, photographers, artists, musicians, and filmmakers to bring innovation, creative innovation to Stacks. So the shows that we're running on a Tuesday are all about that, and that's why you'll see that in the link in my bio. I'm the lead steward for the NFT side of things. So all that information, that's why it's in my bio. But there is a general a website called DeGrants.xyz, and that will give you a much bigger picture of what we're doing. And then you can also have a look at, I think it's stacks.io, is that right? And that will give you a bigger picture of the of what the Stacks ecosystem is. So yeah, that's what we are. We are Stacks, and this particular room is about DeGrants funding for NFTs.
All right. Thank you very much for the clarification. I really appreciate. So I will try and dig deep more into your bio and then try and look for more information about Stack. And more so, I will
I,
keep showing up in this community.
I just pinned Good Kitty's post up in the Jumbotron, so anybody that's interested in to find out more about the DeGrants program, jump up top and check it out.
Amazing. Thanks, Nita. Well, I hope to see more of you, Art, and if you maybe have a look this week and hopefully come back next week and we can chat again some more.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Amazing. I also wanted to say hello to Longshot. Hi.
Hey everybody, thank you guys for having me. I'm at work, so I'm pushing a cart right now. But yeah, this has been a fantastic conversation. I did want to chime in a bit on some of the writing stuff because we do a little bit of that for our community. You know, we have a bi-monthly newsletter and we have articles for artists that we put out. The main platforms that I currently use are, you know, some Web2 stuff, Medium, and things like that. Sorry, I'm out of breath from pushing the car. I catch my breath for a second. And then otherwise, I think it's called publish.ox or publish.ox, something like that, as well as paragraph.xyz. These are some pretty good platforms for writing, you know, where people can, on Paragraph in particular, people can go on and subscribe directly with their ETH wallet address, right? And then it's sent to the wallet directly if you want it. People can also go on and buy them. I'm pretty positive they're all stored on IFPS. But yeah, very, very interesting stuff. But for anybody who doesn't know me, I'm Longshot. You know, my real name is Justin. I'm one of the co-founders of Pixel Palette Nation. We are a cross-chain community of artists. We've been around now for just over a year and a half. And we've grown the Discord to just under 700 international members. We try to focus on exposure and connection, as well as education for our members. So on the exposure side of things, we have multiple community collections that people are able to mint into that kind of provide a inclusive experience, as in they're open for everyone to mint into, to garnish exposure, to meet new people. We have passive collaboration through these collections. We also have just, you know, open styles that people can really get into. And then we also curate fine art collections, which are a much more exclusive type of experience for the members. Currently, we're doing something called Crypto Lore. You know, and before being introduced to everybody that's in this room, we actually had this collection planned. So that's coming to base in July. But you know, a part of our grant application is actually to bring Crypto Lore Season 2 to Stacks. The whole idea behind that is education mixed with fun. We're finding pivotal news stories that have really helped shape this space and pairing them with artists who, you know, use as inspiration for the piece that they're doing. We have, you know, events like the Mount Gox hack back in 2011, all the way to Runes launching Bitcoin in 2024 and everything in between. And then on the education side of our stuff, we have pretty extensive guides in our Discord currently that cover Polygon, Base, Chronos, Binance, you know, just the majors and the majors that have NFTs that, you know, members that might be interested in. We're looking to integrate Stacks educational information into the Discord as well. You know, and I'm not sure, I think Hero might have seen it. We published one of our latest news articles, I think it was the last one we did on the 5th. It was all about the Stacks ecosystem, because I do think it's an incredible opportunity, right? Being on the most well-known blockchain, but the issue on the ordinal side of things, at least from what I've seen, the issue on the ordinal side of things is, you know, what's been set up here, right? File sizes, you're restricted to how deep your pockets are, to how in-depth your work is actually going to be able to be presented to people. And as an artist, as a fine artist, right, that is very, very limited. So I think Stacks kind of opens that door up for a lot of people to really get more involved with Bitcoin. Right? But I see that as being one of the biggest issues. But yeah, you know, I'm ecstatic to be here. To be totally honest, I've learned a lot just hanging out in these conversations. So yeah, appreciate you guys bringing me up, and nice to see everybody.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Longshot. So good to see you here as well. So thank you for always supporting. Appreciate it. You actually brought something, I forgot to mention it to Sarah, which I meant to when I was speaking earlier by mentioning those platforms. We actually do have a writing platform on Stacks called Sigle, Sigle. I've just pinned it up in the nest. That's my new word, Nieta. I think that's the right word. We've been calling it the Jumbo for like weeks, but I think I don't know, I think Nieta just made that up, but I think it's actually called the Nest. So
You know I'm random, so.
I know, the Jumbotron. So yeah, I've pinned a tweet from Sigle up there in the Nest /Jumbotron, and Sarah, you might want to also just have a look at that. They are going on to Lens now as well, but I think you can mint directly. I think you might be able to mint from there. I'm not sure. Or you used to be able to. I don't know if you can. I don't know if I may be making that up, but
Fantastic. I'm going to check that
also.
out.
Oh, we got Gordon.
Gordon, come up on stage. We've been trying to speak to each other for 3 days. Finally, we're in the same room.
Good morning, Gordon.
I sent him a invitation to speak. Maybe he's still having his first coffee. All right, so that's good. So we've covered music, we've covered writing. What about art, or any photographers, any filmmakers, any artists? Anybody want to come up and share some ideas? Been listening, maybe you're inspired to say something. Maybe we should talk. I'd like to maybe see if we could talk about photography or art or film. If there is anybody in the room who would like to talk about it. There we go, Gavin. Oops.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it, Gavin.
Hi, can you hear me?
We can, yes.
So for the proposed project, I was thinking I'll just do what I do best and like paint a bunch of pictures. So the title was A Museum of Metamorphosis, and I want to create like a collection of 5 pieces that depict the 5 stages of like pursuing a dream or something. Like the plight of chasing a dream that feels out of reach. It's gonna be kind of similar to the 5 stages of grief, but like visually. And it's not grief, it's chasing a dream. I think anyone who's like pursuing something is gonna relate to it. And most of my art is basically about this because I can only paint passionately something that I've gone through, and I'm currently going through it. So I feel like I can make a powerful collection for the Stacks ecosystem. But this idea, it's gonna be kind of just like an expansion of my current portfolio. But I'm excited to like kind of mint it on the Stacks system. I haven't minted anything in a long time, and this would be a good way to come back to the Web3 ecosystem. I'm very excited for it. Yeah. I'm done.
Yeah, so am I. As I said, sorry. Did I interrupt you?
No, I'm done. Thank you.
Yeah, so all right, so you're saying 5 pieces, and they're all about pursuing dreams.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about how you create your art. I'd love to hear more about that.
As I said, I can usually only paint something that I've been through. I don't know why, but it's hard for me to tap into other people's experiences, and it's the only way for me to like create purely. And it's fun. I get bored when I'm making something that I'm not passionate about. So I draw from my own personal experiences, and like sometimes it starts with like a word. I write poetry sometimes, so sometimes it starts with like a poem, and then I try to visualize it. Sometimes it starts with like something I heard in a song. Words are like the building blocks of many of my pieces. Because I think I wanted to be a musician at some point, but I'm better at painting. Because yeah, so it's mostly just drawn from my own personal experiences.
And what medium do you work in?
Traditional oil painting and digital illustration.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you combine the two?
Sometimes I do, yeah. Like some of my pieces start out as oil paintings and then I paint over it digitally. Like I've done that for one or two that I've minted, I think.
The one I've got of yours is of two people. I don't know what it's called. I got it actually. I'm through the Hug program, and beautiful pink background with, I think there's sort of flowers, and I think it's two lovers, and they're sort of reaching for each other.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm describing it properly.
Yeah. That's some of my favorite pieces actually. It's heavy.
Oh my God, I love it so much.
Me too. It's heavily drawn for something I went through, and the title is "I Tried to Love You." Yeah.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it after this, and then everybody, if you go on my Twitter thread, you can see what it looks like. It's really fantastic. It's one of my favorite pieces, actually.
Me too. I can't get over how good it made me feel.
Yeah, and there's just so much passion in it. You know, when you say that you create passionately, I can definitely see that in that piece in particular. You know,
yeah. Thank you.
A lot of emotion in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm excited to see to have a read through your proposal. I can't wait. So that's very exciting. You know, we've got a lot of work to do around the Stacks marketplace. You know, or the Stacks NFT community. You know, it's that difficult situation. We need collectors and we need artists, and we need them to come together in some great big bang. You know, and it was there. You know, it was incredible. And then, like I said, with ordinals, you know, most of the people kind of moved over to ordinals. That you know, the early artists and collectors on ordinals were a lot of Stacks people. But I just think that Stacks has so much to offer artists, just as much as ordinals does, but in a very different way. So I just think that for the people in the room, I think I just want to sort of say that it is a job ahead of us, you know. But I think, you know, we're all here so early as this builds out. I think you couldn't be in a better place, you know, because it is the next step, really. So yeah, I just want people to be aware of it. You know, we're aware of it, that it is work. We are going to help people with marketing. We are going to help people more than just write a proposal and then, you know, good luck. So we really want to work together as a community to help everybody who comes on board in this program, so that we all kind of work together and build it up together. So yeah, just wanted to add that in. But yeah, thanks for sharing, Gavin. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Is that you, Nico, behind Caden?
Yes, it is, Nico. Caden is already fast asleep. So no, it's Nico that's behind the profile, yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. We've actually had a really, really good day this end. We actually have started putting a proposal together for you guys. It's just not quite finished yet, as yeah, there's a lot that goes on RL here during the course of a day. But just to touch on it lightly, I think quite a few of you actually know who Caden is and who I am and what my little one does. And that at the core of what we do is autism acceptance. So recently, what we've started doing is quite a few of his recent drops. A lot of it has been donated to charity. Now, this ranges from St. Jude in the States to Autism South Africa, who is a charity who is very, very, very close to our hearts. So what we want to do with the proposal that we've put together is to actually help raise more funds for Autism South Africa. Because we just truly, truly, truly believe what they are doing here in South Africa is incredibly important. For those of you who are not aware of how our journey started, this whole thing initially started to raise the funds to be able to get our little one back in the special needs school that he was going to, as we couldn't afford to pay for it anymore. So since we've accomplished that, and NFTs basically pay for all Caden's needs, artistic needs, his schooling needs, his therapies, literally everything is covered for my little one out of what we are doing here, plus more. But unfortunately, there's a lot of families like us here in South Africa who are not as fortunate. So that is where Autism South Africa comes in. Unfortunately, as we live in a country where our government does not believe in good causes, they completely suck. They are very much reliant on donations. So this is where our proposal comes in, is to actually, by using Cadence art and potentially doing collaborations with our community, helping to raise more funding that goes towards Autism South Africa to help them with what they are doing. To just give you a rough idea of how badly this is needed, for anyone who's not from South Africa, we've got 9 provinces. To take one quickly, the Eastern Cape, which is one of the smaller provinces, currently there is 1,300 kids like Caden on a waiting list to get some of the most basic stuff like the occupational therapy, speech therapy, to help cover the medications, because our medical aids in South Africa also suck. They don't pay for any of Caden's medical needs whatsoever, because apparently autism is not a medical condition, which I do agree with, but still you can pay for my kid's medication. He kind of needs it to, regulate himself and so on and so forth. So this is what we've been putting together. It's not quite finished yet, because this gets done through everything else that needs to be done on a daily basis. But yeah, I just wanted to come up and share that with you guys. It is something we are very excited about. Like I say, we've been donating quite a bit of the funding that we've been getting into various charities to give back. In this life, what you put out there, you always will receive it back in some shape or form. So that's all I wanted to come and say.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Nico, for joining us and for joining the Stacks ecosystem as well. What do you want to tell us a little bit more about Caden as an artist and what he's achieved and how he works?
I would absolutely love to. I love talking with my kids. That's what I do a lot of the time during the course of the day. So Caden is 9 years old. My little one has been pretty much painting since he was 2 years old and has never looked back. Caden is also autistic. When he got diagnosed at the age of 2, he was nonverbal. My little one did not speak, did not make any sounds. He was completely muted. And we went to go and see a bunch of specialists. And between a lot of them, they came up with the diagnosis that our little one is autistic. We also got told in the same breath that he is never, ever going to speak. It's just not going to happen for him. Sorry, we can't help you. And that's the end of it. Luckily, I am married to a incredible woman who never gives up. Now, her name is Bianca. She's mom to Kaden. She is my best friend in the whole wide world, and I absolutely would be completely lost without her. So she did a lot of research and she said, listen, we're not going to panic. We're not going to listen to these idiots. We are going to give our little one the gift of speech. Now, I think everyone can imagine how badly life must suck if you cannot speak. Imagine going to a doctor and not being able to tell the doctor what is wrong or where it hurts. Imagine going into a shop and not being able to tell that shopkeeper what you're looking for. Unfortunately, a lot of people say sign language. Sorry to break it to you, but a lot of the population on planet Earth do not speak sign language. So we got Kaden a speech therapist. We also got Kaden a art therapist. And between the two of them, they said to my little one, listen, it's okay. If you cannot speak or you don't want to speak or you're not ready to speak yet, that is absolutely 100% okay. But we are going to give you some tools to be able to communicate with the rest of the world around you and to be able to express yourself. And that is where Kaden's journey with art started. He's not, like I said, stopped painting since. My little one pretty much paints all day, every day, except when he's at school. He wakes up at like clockwork since I can remember at 5 in the morning and he starts painting. He paints his daily life, his daily routine. He paints important events in his life. Every single significant event in Kaden's life has been documented on canvas. He, to give you a rough idea, he had a thing at school about 2 years ago. They started with STEM education, and part of that is robotics. Now, the building of the robot, that went great. My little one likes Legos. He likes building stuff, so that went absolutely fantastic. My little one, unlike most kids today, does not watch television. He does not want anything to do with electronics or computers or phones or even the internet. He just can't be bothered. And then the time came where they had to actually code the little robot to do a simple task. And he was like, nope, hell no, not doing this. It's not happening. So he came home and he told me that, there are naughty robots at school. And you know what? I called his teacher and she explained to me what happened and that he was actually trying to just basically talk to the robot to tell it what to do and it was just not working out. So I asked him if he could show me what a naughty robot looks like, and he created characters, which he called naughty robots. So that is how he drew inspiration out of an event that happened in his life and he documented it. Every single bushfire that my little one has ever seen, he's painted. When we've got a pond here where we live, where there's ducks. Whenever we go there, he will recreate that event on a canvas. I will also add in my little one is an abstract artist, so he does not paint little houses and cars and things like that. Everything Kaden does is very, very abstract. So yeah, that's what he does. He paints, he lives and breathes art. Our journey with NFTs started more than 3 years ago. And it initially started with the idea of being able to raise the funding to be able to get Kaden back in school. We unfortunately had to take him out of school because we just literally could not afford it anymore. To give you a rough idea, if you're not from South Africa, I know private schools are super expensive. It doesn't matter where in the world you are. But luckily in some parts of the world, your public school sector is actually quite well developed and they cater to kids with special needs. Here in South Africa, we are unfortunately not so lucky. Our public school systems are very much broken. They don't cater to kids like Kaden, and even when they do, classroom sizes range from anything from 30 to 50 kids. Now, if you are a kid with special needs, you kind of need one-on-one attention to be able to help you. Kaden is in a private school. He is one of 2 kids in a class. His speech has literally gone from where he struggled to form a sentence to where my little one can literally speak normally now. They work on life skills, which comes very normally to you and me, which does not come normal to my son. He doesn't understand how to read a room. He is socially awkward. He's got things where he doesn't know how to cope with sudden change. And those are all skills that they work on, which unfortunately, if you're sitting with the kids, with a classroom of 50 kids, you just can't do it. Caden's schooling currently, if I had to pay it out of pocket, is more than half of what I earn doing my normal day job. Then I've not paid for any of his therapies. I've not paid for my little one's medication. I've not even bought him a paintbrush yet. So it basically came to a point where we had to make some very, very difficult life decisions, which was keeping a roof over our heads or being able to send our son to school. And I don't think that is a position any parent ever wants to sit in. Luckily, once again, back to my wife, absolute amazing, amazing, amazing woman. She didn't give up. She found NFTs and our journey started. We managed to raise the funding to get our kid back in school. We've managed to keep him in school. We've managed to pay for all his therapies, all his medications. Plus, NFTs foots a massive art supply bill that we have every month to cover. So yeah, it keeps him happy. It meets all the needs that he has is made out of NFTs. But we've grown to the point where we can afford to start giving back. And we have been doing so for the last, I would say, probably 9 months. We give back, we try and support where we can. Caden has also been fortunate enough that this has opened up many, many, many doors for him. His art has been displayed all over the world. He's got a massive supportive community with a collector base which rivals a lot of people. A lot of his collectors actually own the physical works which are linked to the on-chain assets. My little one has also got collections which are pretty much sold out across 18 different blockchains. Yes, Dad is super busy and he loves exploring. We are not on Sats yet, but he does have a collection on BTC, which is something which was quite a milestone, which I was very proud of. If you look at my PFP, you'll see there's a hand behind all the little animal characters, which the little animal characters all belong to him. They've been gifted to him, and those are communities which we are part of. But the little hands, they officially live on 16 different chains. It's a collection of over 8,000 handprints, which my kid made when he was 4 years old. For anyone who knows anyone autistic, you will know a lot of them, they've got a thing with obsessions where they get very obsessed with a certain thing. Now for Caden, it's art, but it's also an obsession with a certain type of thing that he creates, which can sometimes borderline being a little bit unhealthy. And that's something else which they also worked on very, very, very hard at school, is to teach him when it's time to actually take a step back and take a breather and go and do something else, and then return back to what you are busy working on. Now the little hands, they were the first collection we put on BTC, and yeah, there's little hands that live on there, which is something we're incredibly proud of. But yeah, so that's who my son is. I'm his dad. I pretty much do everything for him here. I manage the account. I make sure that his art gets seen. I network. I build as much as I can for my little one. Like I say, a lot of doors have been opened for him. For anyone who is part of the Solana ecosystem, his drip channel went live today, so he's one of 200 people who are currently minting on that platform, which is also something which is kind of a big milestone for us, something we worked incredibly hard towards. And yeah, we're excited to put this proposal together and to get this on Stacks and continue helping a charity which is incredibly close to our hearts, because before we found NFTs, Autism South Africa was one of the charities we went to try and get help. And that is also where we learned very quickly and very hard that as much as they would like to help, they can't. They put you on a waiting list, which can be anything from 6 months to 2 years. Mostly due to lack of funding and being understaffed because the funds are not there to pay people. So yeah, that's why we have been trying to help them where we can. We've done some auctions where we'll put up one of Caden's physicals linked to NFT, and then we donate the funding to Autism South Africa to keep them going as much as possible. So yeah, that's who I am. That's who my kid is. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing that story with us, Nico. I appreciate it very much. And I can't wait to go through your proposal as well. I love the art side of it and the charity side of it. So yeah, very keen to read it. So thank you very much for sharing. All right, guys. Well, we are heading towards 10:30, or my time. So I think I'd like to start winding it down. Unless there is anybody else who would. Oh, there we are. See, Tiara's come back. Let's just say hi to Tiara. Hi, Tiara.
Hello, can you all hear me? I'm so sorry. I was having some connectivity issues.
Yeah, you're loud and clear. Welcome.
Hi, thank you. And Kitty, thank you for personally inviting me again. Um, Hello everyone. And thank you all for just coming up to share your ideas and just to hear some of the things that you all have going on. It is definitely awesome and inspirational. Again, Kitty, thank you for the invite. Hello, Hero. I see you. Um, I'm Tiara Nicole, aka Tonightlet. I am in been
I think you.
involved with overall Web3 just in general. I want to touch back on something.
I
I
think you're
believe that was
breaking up a little
last.
bit.
Yeah, I'm struggling to understand her.
And you were speaking about kind of like the difficult
Tiara,
team,
can you hear me?
right, in the space and having opportunities with so many people, right? Especially, and I think that artists just get written off. Oh, they're artists where they can't think, and in terms,
Tiara, can you hear me? I'm not sure if Tiara can hear me. Do you want to?
personally being in the space and touching technology.
I don't think she can hear either of us, to tell you the truth. Can anybody on the panel try and cut in?
Can you all hear me?
Maybe we just flick her and she'll realise that she's lost.
What do we do?
We just drop her down and she'll realise that she's left the space, and then she'll automatically come back up.
Okay. She was saying that she did have connectivity issues.
Yeah.
Let's see if she tries again. Okay, well, while we wait for her. Hi, Triana, how are you?
GM, I'm doing very well.
Thanks for.
Yeah, I've been struggling with my network for the past hour. If you saw, I've been jumping in and out, jumping in and out. So yeah, I wanted to jump in and speak. So yeah, that was the struggle that I was having.
Yeah, it seems everybody's having problems here. Well, not everybody, but we've had a couple of connectivity issues here today.
Yeah, I think it's X because some of my applications are working very fine. So when I try to jump on X and jump on the spaces, it was lagging me for the past hour. So yeah.
Hello. Can you all hear me now?
Hi.
Okay, I'm so
Ah, yes, I
sorry
can.
about that. I got like two calls back to back. I don't know why everyone decided to call me right when I decided to get on Spaces, but prior to that, like nobody was calling me. It's funny how that works. But I don't know if you all heard me leaving off of where I was saying, Kitty, last week you were on Spaces and you were speaking about how sometimes us as artists get left out of opportunities to build with the collective. And because they're just thinking like, oh, this person is just operating completely from the right side of the brain, and yeah, it's no good. But at the end of the day, I think it is very vital that you do have those people who actually know how to operate both sides of the brain well. And I think from that right side of creativity can come about innovations that we've never seen before. And so I have this idea that is already in existence. And I want to say this publicly.
It's rugging again for me.
Yeah, me too. One of those days today, isn't it?
I know.
Triana.
Oh, so yeah, on the application, I wanted to find out if you have seen it or it's enough if I just send my email. I'll just have to wait to hear from you.
Have you submitted a proposal yet?
Yes, I did. I did it last week. Hero sent me a link to send the applications. So yeah, I did send an email.
Amazing. Let me see if I can see it here. Yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to wait until the 28th of June, which is when the applications close. And then we're going to review them as a group, all the stewards. And then we're going to start contacting people. Ideally, up until then, we just kind of want to, be chatting about the application. So having people share their ideas here on X in our show, and see if we can help in any way. If you've got any questions, because the applications can be changed right up until the 28th. So I just want to see if I've got.
Yeah, sure.
When did you?
Yeah, I wanted to find out if you received them because yeah, this side, network issues, connectivity issues. These governments don't want us to connect to the other side of the world. So yeah, just let me know if you've got them.
I don't think I see. What is your? I don't know if you want to say your email. What is your project called? Your project name?
I submitted it under Triana the artist at gmail.com.
No, it hasn't arrived.
I saw there were categories on there, so I chose the other because I didn't find music side, so I just chose the other option.
Oh, maybe you've submitted it in. Did you submit it in the submit your own part? The submit your own category?
Yeah, and I attached
Because
some MP3s on it.
okay, no, you know what? I'll see if I can get that from them. But the application for the NFT track is on my website, goodkitty.xyz, and the application form, the link to the application form specifically for, and then you'll see there that it asks like whether it's art, film, photography, music, and then you can click on music.
Oh, I see. So I have to resubmit.
I think so. Hero, can we just kind of swap them out, or is it better for 300 to resubmit? Hero? Okay, he's wandered off. I think if you wouldn't mind resubmitting, that'd be cool, because then at least I've got it all in one place and it doesn't go amiss.
Thank you so much.
So if it's not too much trouble, that would be cool.
Not even a problem. I'll try to resubmit. You're saying the link is on your timeline, right?
Yeah, it's on my pinned tweet, and also if you go into my link in bio, you'll see there, and you go to goodkitty.xyz, and then you'll see on the hamburger menu there is the Stacks DeGrants, and then there it says apply, and all the info is there.
Oh, thank you. I will resubmit.
Amazing! I'm excited about it.
Yeah, it's quite a great space. I was just listening, and you were talking about the old players like Winamp and other stuff. So yeah.
A little trip down memory lane. How we used to think we were so fancy with our CD Walkman, with those little foam you remember those foam earphones we used to wear, the
Yeah,
little orange foam.
and also you forgot about an iPod or MP3 player. You made me feel old on that one.
Yeah,
I found mine not long ago, actually. The little mini one. It's like tiny.
those were so awful to use. Oh my God. I just could not operate those tiny little iPods, or what,
Yeah.
but I had one of those like big bricks, those like silver with the, what a weird thing, rotating it around to try and find the song, like when you've got 600 songs and you rotating.
It's hilarious now. I still got some of my old tapes and stuff. I just sold my car that I sold, had the tape deck in it. So I had some of my dad's old I don't know, old musicians that he'd collected his little tapes as well. So I was like, nah, I'm not getting rid of them. So I've kept them all.
Yeah, no. I've also got a couple of tapes, bunch of like vintage vinyls. I just don't know what to do. We've got like boxes of CDs. And a couple of years ago, I threw away all the CD covers, but I put them all in those CD books. And now I'm sitting with like a huge, like 2 crates of CDs in those CD books that nobody's touched in like however many years. But I just feel so weird throwing them away. But also, what are we going to do with them?
Just you keep them the same as you do with your records and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, what if there's a power out, or we can't get the internet? You still got it there. Like,
why I'm holding on to them for when the zombie apocalypse. I'm going to be listening to my tunes. I'm going to be reading my books. Fuck the Kindle. Fuck the iPod. I've got my books and my tapes. I'm going to be partying, guys. I'll send you the address. I'll dox myself.
That was the battle I had to do as well when I moved. When I was like, all right, I got this little container. I am literally getting rid of my whole existence apart from the major stuff. And then I was trying to give away a whole bunch of CDs and whatever not. And then I just looked at it, and as I got rid of DVDs, and that was fine. And then as a CD, I was going through this. I go, I remember that. Oh, that was part of my childhood. Oh, but I grabbed that one because that's when I was broke and it was the only CD I could get and it got me through this. And it was like, yeah, nah, stuff that. I packed everything up and I couldn't let go of them. I just couldn't.
Nieta, I've still got, wait for it, a DVD player and DVDs. I am rocking the zombie apocalypse. Watch me. I'm
Keep
going to be
all of
watching
it.
DVDs.
Keep all of it. Yep. See, if you know what, this is why.
I got VHSs. I've got reel to reels, old reels like like my dad's reels. I've got fucking finals. I've got mini discs. I've got everything. That I keep all of that shit.
See, and I'm
Do you have
spewing
a
as well because I
PlayStation
got
1 on
robbed,
your collection?
and they stole all my vinyls, and I had one of the original Sound of Music. I had these Bing Crosby albums. Like, they were so old that I collected over time. My dad, who doesn't really like me, he even bought me a record player because even he was impressed with my collection. And someone came in and robbed me and took it all.
Aww.
I was heartbroken.
Yeah, my collection got stolen before. About 2/3 of my collection got stolen before. And yeah, it's not really nice losing vinyls because they are so hard to get back. So hard to get back.
Aren't they? Especially the quality. Like, I really looked after and made sure there was no scratches or nothing. That was so perfect. Especially to get a Sound of Music. Like, that's just one of those cheesy, iconic ones to have like a first edition kind of thing. So with no scratches, no markings and stuff like that. So, and there was one because my nan was an opera singer. And there was one album left that I had.
Aww.
And they stole that too. But then they left my stupid ex-husband's. All his crap was left behind. It's like they sifted through and went, yeah, no, he's an idiot. Leave that stuff.
I thought you said they left my stupid ex-husband. Like, when they robbed you, they just left your husband. And that's all you came home to. They should have robbed him, taken him with.
She left as soon as the vinyls were stolen, bro. She was like, yeah, I'm out. This marriage has to be over now as soon as the vinyls are gone.
I wish they took him. They took my puppy instead. They took my little puppy and my albums. They did. They stole my puppy.
Puppy and albums left your husband. Now, those are not good robbers. Bad robbers.
Yeah, no, God, I could say so many things right now. It might not be appropriate. But all the good stuff was all mine. And they took that. And then, yeah, I was gutted. They stole the puppy and my albums. That was
terrible.
Yeah.
But anyway, should we see if we can have third time lucky with Tiara? Do you think let's try again, Tiara?
Hi, yeah, I'm here. I tried everything from my end to make sure that there's no disruption, so hopefully I don't get rugged by Twitter. I don't know where I left off at with you all, but I'll just start completely over. I am Tiara Nicole, aka Tanilet. I am an artist. I've been involved in the space of Web3 overall since 2020. I've learned to incorporate my art since 2022. And ever since then, I've been having a lot of awesome experiences with a lot of people in the community. I've been able to build in ways that I couldn't even had imagined for myself 2 years ago. But nonetheless, it has been amazing. I am grateful to be here. Thank you, Kitty, for extending the personal invite. I appreciate that, and thank you, Hero, for connecting myself and Kitty. Kitty, last week I was on these spaces and you were speaking about how like artists were not taken serious as far as like building with innovation. And I was just saying that I just thought it was important and it was relieving to hear someone like express that, because there's been times where I work with so many people in this space and they're so technical that when it comes to extending that in a artistic expression of any kind is shut down. Like I had to my first curated gallery. I had to pretty much fight to get the artists, myself and other artists seen, just to be there, because some people felt like, well, what do artists need to be here at this particular event for what? And by the grace of God, the person who organized the event happened to love art. And so he had an appreciation for it, where he felt it should be here. Why not? And just to give an example of some of the things that, I've experienced, or some of the things other artists may experience, but with that clamp down on just automatically judging artists, and that we're only good for just art and nothing as far as creatively adding on to innovation, I think that's not true. I think we do have the abilities to add on to these new types of innovations. And I was just thinking that I didn't see anything on Stacks, and I know because a lot of us are still brand new building on Stacks, but there's a woman-based group on Tezos that I end up finding, and it was those group of women that really helped instill the confidence in myself as an artist. And my thing was, that would be beautiful to see that here on Stacks, specifically for women. And I named the group Museworks. um I think us as artists, we may be someone's muse, or we may gravitate and take on other aspects, or have people or things be our muse, right? And then works is the creations that come from us. And I spell works WERKS. That's the way I just spell it. It's just a unique twist that I put onto it, but the project is called Museworks, and it would be empowering women artists through Stacks blockchains. And it would be a digital museum dedicated to curating and celebrating the artwork of women artists on the Stacks blockchain. And the mission is to create a vibrant space that acknowledges and elevates the diverse artistic expression of women creators. At So with Women Works, I believe that the power of art to inspire change and foster community. The curation process would be meticulously designed to highlight the unique perspectives and talents of women artists, offering them a platform to shine through a digital realm. Now, thus community support and the artist's generosity, they will be participating by way of donating their works to the collection, and we would create a repository of digital art that is accessible to a global audience. The community is invited to support these artists by purchasing their works, with all pieces priced equally to emphasize the value of each artist's contribution. 100% of sales proceeds are directed back to the artist. This model not only supports the artist financially, but it also reinforces the principle of fair compensation for creative labor in the digital age. MuseWorks welcomes monetary donations, which are crucial for sustaining our operations and expanding the reach. So by accepting donations, we ensure that the longevity of the platform and that the continued support of women artists happen. So leveraging the Stacks blockchain, it would help us put MuseWorks at the forefront in the intersection of between art and technology. And the use of blockchains ensures transparency, security, and authenticity, providing both artists and collectors with a peace of mind. So I invite you to be a part of this exciting journey. Whether you are an artist, a collector, or a supporter of the arts, your involvement can make a significant impact. And together we can create a legacy of empowerment and creativity for women artists worldwide. And that's the project. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. And, I think Nieta's known me for a while, and I've known Nieta for a while, and we are both very, how can you say, behind what you are speaking about. I believe that women in the space need to be nurtured. I think not nurtured in a way that need to be nurtured, but what I mean by that is we need more women. And I want to be nurtured. Just nurture me. we need more women in this space, and women need a voice in this space, and women can bring so much to this space. And I think women are connectors. You know, I'm not dissing anybody, males. I'm trying to be so like, you know,
PC?
huh?
PC. Trying to be PC.
That's the word. I'm trying to be PC. I don't even know the word. I'm so bad at being PC that I don't even know it. Yeah, I just think that, you know, to me, it's a lovely, warm feeling I get when I hear things like that. So I'm looking forward to finding out more about going through your proposal, and yeah, and looking at it. I was going to try and get a group of girls together to do a project last year, I think it was, and it was called Moon Girls. And I went and researched space travel and women, and just how much of an impact women have had on space travel. And one interesting thing is the Hubble telescope, for example, is going to be it's not discontinued, but there's another word where they like take it down or whatever. And the new telescope that they're going to replace it with is going to be called the Roman telescope, after the woman who was actually at the forefront of building the Hubble telescope, but it was never named after her. So what I like about what we're doing here in this world is not to knock anybody, but really just to give a voice to voices that weren't heard before, or possibly things that weren't seen before. So yeah, you know, that's my rant on women's lib. Yay. But yeah, what do you think, Neta?
No, I agree with everything that you're saying. There are difficult roads. You'd think in this day and age it would be a little bit more simplified, but yeah, it's how do I? Yeah, you get into that PC mode, don't you? But you know, look, there are a lot of women grinding behind the scenes, a lot that are still too fearful to come to the forefront.
I think
It's kind of difficult. Yeah, go.
No, I was just going to say, even if you look at spaces, you know, and how few women there are even in crypto spaces, you know.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It is difficult. And look, I do use myself as an example, and I'll get a little bit personal on it, is that, look, I've been in the entertainment industry behind the scenes for some number of years, but I was never someone that wanted the attention. I was quite comfortable sitting in the background and punching out the work and doing what I had to do. And I do that well. But coming into this space, it kind of propelled me where I had no choice. And I have a lot of anxiety, and I deal with anxiety and depression, and have for some time, because of, you know, past traumas and life and all the stuff that gets in the way of that. Now, if I wasn't so blessed to have met, you know, the likes of yourself, Gordon, Electra, even there's this guy in Melbourne, Josh, who literally could hear the fear in my voice and gave me the space to start communicating or to get my ideas across. And, you know, I've always felt like a little bit of the dummy. And, you know, artists can have the worst self-talk and criticisms about themselves. So I think as a community, the best tool is to just give everybody a space and let them grow, and give them guidance, give them advice, and just give them a space to have, you know, we let everybody up and we let everybody speak. But we were lucky and we really met great people, but not everybody has that opportunity. And we hope through these spaces and these community grants and everything that we're doing in the Stacks community is creating a space, whether you're a female, male, whatever part, yellow, green, I don't really give a shit. It gives you an opportunity and a space, and whether you're stuttering or whether you're scared, even if you just, the first step is just to say, hello, I'm here, I'm listening, thank you. These are the spaces to be doing it. So I hope we're creating opportunities for women. And I, personally think Kitty and I are a bit of a powerhouse team here, even though she's the smarter one. Yeah, I'm glad we're doing this.
No,
It's so obvious, honey.
We do this together. We both, oh God, if only we should have recorded our conversations we had before we started this. We sat there, we were both so scared. We literally were like, okay, I had papers stuck around me. I was sitting on my bed because I needed a big area to put all the papers out on. And they were going like, just breathe. Listen. I mean, I had it was so funny. I was so scared. And when I listen, or I've once gone and listened back, but I actually can't bear it. And it's just such a mess. But that's how you all start, and it, like you said, it's that first step of actually going, okay, let me try just hello, anybody out there?
And I used to freak out because you're behind me. I'm always forward. And if you didn't send me a script or say, this is what we're talking about, I'd get it 10 minutes before the show. Then I'd be shitting myself because I'm like, I'm not very good at reading aloud. And now I've got no clue what's going on. I'm going to stutter. And then one day we just kind of went rogue and here are the spaces.
You know what we used to do? We used to write a word-for-word script for the whole show.
Pretty much.
And it was so stunted because it would be both of us sort of trying to read off our own script without being able to communicate. But anyway, the point of this is that we got out of our comfort zone and
100%.
we went rogue eventually off the script, and now it's turned into a lot of fun. And I'm just so grateful that all of you guys are here with us today and listening to your stories and the incredible projects that you are bringing forward into the Stacks ecosystem. And I think, when I go through them, I would love all of them to get through, and to have everybody here come together and mint, NFTs in Stacks. And I think going back to what you were speaking about, Tiara, is the fact that when having creatives and then having the people that can possibly build out what the creatives need or what is in the creative mind and help and sort of having developers that can come together with creatives. Those are also the kind of environments we want to put here. We want to not just have a room full of artists talking about art, as much as I could do that all day, every day. We want to have people like Rocky, for example, come into the room and go, hey, this is a platform that I know you guys need, and I think the more we speak about it, like we were speaking about with Sarah earlier, how do we put literature on the blockchain? Those, and not that I don't want to say it hasn't been done before, but are there better ways to do it? Because this is Bitcoin and this needs to be the best way, so that's why I think this is so important, is to put not just have developers sitting in one room and artists sitting in another room, and we're kind of all doing our own thing, and nobody's getting very high up the ladder as well. And I'm excited to go through it and chat further with you.
Oh, thank you all for having me, and thank you all for sharing you guys' journeys. And to everyone else in the audience, thank you for coming up and sharing, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hey, Gordon.
Oh, we've got Gordon and his hand up.
Good morning. Good morning. Just thought I'd drop in. It was 6 a.m. when I started to listen. It's been great I didn't want to jump up on stage. I like to listen to the applicants putting forth their ideas. So we yeah, I think there's some good synergies here across, the developer, across the different applications. Particularly we do have in the community and governance section, we do have one for social good. And, I think that it is important that we do see, like to see more ladies have the confidence to step up and be leaders in the Stacks community. Like Good Kitty and Nita, they're certainly leading the way. If we look at the board of the Stacks Foundation, it is 3 ladies, 3 incredible women that do head up the overall foundation, and the team in the Stacks Foundation are a really cool mixed team of amazing guys and ladies, but it is a great mix. I was concerned in my in the track that I'm leading that we didn't have any ladies, but it's how it is. I think that it's those that put their hands up are going to lead anyway. But yeah, we'd love to see these projects. Love to see, I'm really glad to see these applications coming forward because I think we do have a lot of work to do to attract, because I think there's a different perspective that the ladies do have on the world and things that are going on, and seeing what's needed, and yeah, and also at our crypto meetups, they're 90% guys. I don't know what we've got to do about that, but it's pretty much across the board. So really encourage those applications to come forward.
I think women just need to, like, it's all good and well and saying, hey, let's support. But like Kitty and I said, we were shit scared when we started, and we lent on each other first and foremost. And I think women need to hear and get out of their heads and say, and hear that there is an opportunity here. They just have to grab it, lean on the other women, lean on the community. There's lots of guys here supporting women. And of course, there's going to be some idiots out there that are going to always play the same game. But take a chance. Like, this is an opportunity that's not going to come around again. We're at the forefront of the whole tech in Web3. If you think that you got an idea, if you think that there's something that you can contribute, or you're not sure, reach out and find out. Don't sit in the background and think that there isn't an opportunity for you, because there's 101 people are here to hold your hand and help you get through it.
Yeah, very well said.
That's very true, Nayetta. I want to just say that, just to piggyback off of what you said, I was scared as well when I first started. I've been an artist since I was a child, so I came as a student into this, so that's why I did not incorporate my artwork first. I needed to know how all of this actually worked, then I attacked it with the art. But I was terrified. I'm looking at all these artists, they were selling left and right, and I'm just like, I don't even have an audience. I'm just like, I don't even know where I want to start, which blockchain, and why would I choose, so I had to really, I took a chance, and I kept going. And when I seen, and so always don't forget to celebrate the small wins. I don't care if it's you connecting, if it's you connecting with a different group of people that you did not know prior, all of that, like those small wins, acknowledge that you've done something different and it resulted in a positive
As a creative as well, those emotions are like on rotation. You get your highs, you celebrate a little bit, or you get a sale, and then you go through that period of nothing, and then insecurity kicks in, and then we do the rotation again. It's just part of the process. You just got to go with the flow, and just when you're down, just keep pushing up again.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Those are the most pivotal moments. When it's nothing and you feel nothing, you feel the lowest, that's when you being tested, and you got to still just go through the motion, but learn to be present and enjoy the moment of the journey, because it's those important moments that are going to elevate and help add on to the personal development of self, on top of, everybody can feel that when you truly working on yourself, and then the work starts to show it for itself, and then it's just everything that you wanted, it starts to gravitate towards you. Why? Because that's the frequency that you're on, and what you put out will ultimately come back to you.
100%. Here you go. So all those women out there that were second guessing, Or any of the dudes that got a girlfriend that's saying, I'm not sure?
Hey, what's
You
going
got them,
on?
get
You
them
guys
into
still
this
here?
space. What's that?
Are you guys still here? What's going on?
You've returned, dude. I was like asking you questions, and I was going
Oh,
like,
I was trying to get things cleared for some KYC questions. I was on a call with the foundation guy and one of the community members.
okay, well, it's nice to have you back in the last 2 minutes of the show.
What did you guys talk about? Or what was the
So
question?
much cool stuff. We've like solved.
Oh,
We've making stacks like the NFT music, film, photography hub of the entire country while you were away.
Nice,
We solved all the problems.
nice. That's what we need. Yeah. If you guys can knock that one out, like some high qualities. I mean, we don't need like many apps. I guess we just need like one app, maybe to begin with.
quality.
Yeah,
Quality, not
not
quantity.
quantity. Yeah, that's what I would say.
I've seen Shelby in the audience. I hope you don't mind me shouting you out, but I see you work in film, and it's one topic we haven't chatted about. So if ever you would like to, either today or come back on another show, I'd love to hear from you if that's ever if you'd ever like to. So I just wanted to put that out there because I'd also like to, because Tank, like I said, she's she was here as our film ambassador, and she's just working in the behind the scenes now. So, but yeah, guys, I think we can start rounding it up. We are hitting 3 hours.
2 hours? Oh, 3 hours. Woo!
I know.
That felt like nothing.
By the way, everybody's. So I deleted my calendar and put everybody on the Stacks website calendar, stacks.co calendar. So all the DeGrants are up there if you want to take a look. But yeah, I'll discontinue my Google Calendar because I got a bit of shit from this. but yeah,
all right.
all good. Everybody's space is on there. Oh well, I can't like tailor each week. I just say follow Good Kitty, Neta, blah blah blah.
And all these links to everything is in the console, isn't it?
I mean, it's just extra work to create that in the console. I don't know whether I know Golden does it. I'm a bit lazy, I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Give me 2 seconds. I believe if you go to the console, if you go into the intro page, he's taken off. So give me 2 seconds.
Hero, so will it not appear in our Google calendars anymore?
Yeah, so I need to delete the Google Calendar basically. That's long and short.
Also, I've got to reset them all.
Well, you can go to I posted today the last 10 days left, and one of the links has the link to calendar. So in the first tweet it says find on calendar. So if you click on that link, you can subscribe to all the DeGrants stuff.
Yeah, Nita and Good Kitty, we also have the events posted in console. So, well, I have to update that today because not all the links were posted yesterday, so they should be today. I think Hero Gamer posted them all out in his thread for all the different spaces during the week. So, yeah, every day we've got spaces rolling. So I think, just check out Hero's latest thread. I'm going to be heading up the conversation.
I'm just trying to do more marketing for this and next week for like final push to get applications in Golden. So if anybody want more help, let me know. I'll be the marketing intern.
Yeah, you did a great job. I had intended to shoot that out myself this week, but all the spaces weren't up there. So the stewards have, the leads have delivered. So yeah, we've got a rolling number of spaces. But for those that aren't in console, are we able to post up a link in the nest to join the console? I just can't
Yeah,
see
sure.
one close and
Sure.
handy. If you've got one handy there, Hero Gamer. And
Yeah.
I'll be heading up the community and governance grants conversation this Thursday or Friday, whichever your time zone is. So if you've got anything to do with community building, there is a bit of cross synergy here between arts, developer, and community. So you're welcome to join into each of the spaces and bounce your ideas and help formulate them. So we'll be there for a couple of hours on Friday morning, on my Friday morning. You're probably Thursday night. So look forward to seeing some of you there that weren't able to speak here. You can jump up on any space. There's people there to help you with whatever your application is.
We had quite an interesting conversation earlier with a gentleman in, I think it was Nairobi, and he is teaching AI to children in an orphanage, and it was very interesting. And I just wondered if that sort of would fall under community and governance or not.
Yeah, I think so. I think we'll see applications. I mean, that's the grant that was given to Annabelle last time. Was it Annabelle? I think for the South American one from Stax Latham was a music and science based project. So yeah, I really encourage those projects to apply because I think it is a community growth program. And yeah, I think out of the DeGrants, something to learn from it is that those that not everyone can get awarded, but the opportunity to build your idea and connect with people, and to there's a lot of help out there. So I think there's a lot more actual value than the cash dollars that can be from the DeGrants. If you reach out, there are so many people here that will help you with your idea.
Yeah, 100%. I'm starting to see the benefits of having specific interest tracks now. I see Good Kitty building like this, collecting all the people interested in NFT into one place now. Similar for developers, I see Dan jumping on more with the developers and BNS because he's interested. He doesn't have to join all the other stuff. You have like people who care about the governance or reputation jumping into your space, Gordon. So yeah, I'm seeing like each little track building their own community and gathering all the people interested in that topic together. And I think it really goes beyond DeGrants. Like if we didn't have DeGrants today, and we just keep that going, I think there's a value there, just connecting with each other.
Yeah, I totally agree. I really enjoyed the last DeGrants in that there was so many sessions, so many builders. It's in a time when Stacks wasn't that noticed, and it keeps everyone vibrant and collaborating. I think a lot of things have come out of it that are really excellent. While we're here, are you still online, Atlas? I think it's pretty late in London. I'll just reach out to you, to Atlas.
Yeah,
See
I'm
if I can
still
get you
here.
to
I'm
jump on
still
the
here,
space
bro.
on
Sorry,
Friday
I
with.
was trying to unmute. It just kept doing some bullshit and just freezing. But yeah, what's going on, bro?
I think I'm rugged or against Atlas. I'll send you a
He's
DM.
most definitely rugged.
Yeah, you've rugged Gordon if you can't hear him.
Jeez, we've had technical difficulties deluxe today.
Gordon. I know, but yet we managed for 3 hours to keep going. We're Gordon. Little fighters there. Oh, maybe this is.
Yeah,
I got
you're right.
out of the space earlier, so I got totally the whole of X just closed down while I was on the space. I had to like quickly come back in. I thought I lost it. So
oh well.
it's been like a hell of a. Yeah.
Yeah, go Gordon. Hero.
Hero, yeah.
Yeah,
What's up?
I figured out the gas thing now. So I just need to get it approved. Like not approved, but I just need to let Will know about this gas little side gas situation. And then once he's made aware, I don't see any issue. Like he no cannot make cannot approve this per se. Let's say I get it approved by him, and I'll work with Shakti to get like a wallet set up. Maybe it require multi-sig or some sort, but we'll get that set up. So that's that. And also the other topic I touched on was we have this reputation thing that we were talking about, and we have so many builders now who don't want. Well, some builders don't want grant money. All they want is to develop cool stuff, and they just want to keep building. And then I thought maybe one of the recognition method is like shouting them out, but maybe other people who prefer some monetary reward, what we could do is almost like at the end of the each month, we pick out some guys to thank them what they've been building. So it's a more retroactive than they apply for grant. They have to seek because a lot of people really don't want paperwork and strings attached, including myself. You just want to build. So maybe that's a way to allow these people to thrive. They just build what they want to build at their own pace, at their own time, with their freedom. So you're really letting them doing what they enjoy rather than trying to force them into a grant with strings attached and attach milestones, sign paperwork, KYC. So this is a way I can think of that would alleviate a lot of paperwork for them. But they will still need to KYC if, say, let's say at the end of each month, like this is June. So at say end of July would review people can submit stuff and they can get reviewed and we pick some winners for cool stuff they actually built and end of July, end of August, end of September, we can almost like budget how much we want to allocate each month from this current cohort 3 budget. And yeah, that's my thought. Like it doesn't have to be a big amount, but each month we make sure those people who want to be rewarded get rewarded. Whether if they don't want reward, we make sure at the end of the month they get shout out. Yeah, so that's my thought. But logistically, it's possible. But those people who want to get rewarded, almost like a thank you gift, they need to be KYC. That's the only issue. But it's a lot easier than having to sign some milestones and admin wise is a lot of work. So that's what I hash out today.
Yeah, it sounds cool to look at ways of doing retrospective grants. So
and this can go across like different tracks. You could potentially have at the end of each month like NFT stewards. You guys pick maybe 5 guys who you recognize as good builders for your area and developers too, governance, blah, blah, blah. Yes, it's almost like a new version of the other thing, I guess. Golden. What do you think?
yeah, cool. I think it's just building out some frameworks. Are we going to do that on the Friday Spaces?
Thursday? Oh yeah, sorry, your Friday. Yeah, I think yeah, I'll put a proposal together. I need to do that ASAP.
Yeah, because that's what I think we need for the community and governance grant. With all these, we need people to put up proposals. So whether it's as a collective, even if it's one of the stewards or one of the leads to put up a proposal, but I think they need to put up a proposal. But if it needs to be fleshed out, then let's flesh it out and put it up. But that's
good kitty.
the solution.
Yeah, good kitty. What do you think about each track doing their own little end of the month shout out, recognizing people without tying people to milestone? Just say, okay, you've done a great job. We see you've been building. You didn't apply for grant, but you've been building, and big thank you.
Yeah, I like
with the
it.
budget.
I just wonder if it could get a bit muddied and like and all that stuff, or the same people. But what I wanted to mention was, have you seen how they do it and how Trevor does it in the Pizza Ninjas?
No, what Pizza Ninja stuff? What are they doing?
The Ninja Discord.
No.
So they do a great thing. I'm actually going to go there tomorrow and like write it up and send it to you, but I'll give you the
Oh,
TLDR.
please.
But
Please.
the basically you give people, like, if somebody does something cool, you give them a pizza. Okay, so it's just like a little thing in the Discord, and you get like you throw a pizza at somebody basically, and you have to give a reason. You have to give a reason why you giving them a pizza, and then it's brilliant. And then
Yeah, I love it.
on how many pizzas you get, like you can't
Okay.
give somebody more than one pizza a day or whatever it is.
Okay.
They add up all the pizzas that you've gotten at the end of the month, and then they have like the community leaders. So they'll say like, this person got 10 pizzas, this person got 20, whatever. And then
Wow. That is so cool.
yeah, and then the winners all get a financial reward. So
What?
the top five people get like 0.002 Bitcoin.
And everybody can give pizza to each other, or is it a pre-allocated
Yeah.
number of pizza I get?
Man, you can get pizza. You can tell all your friends. Go send pizza.
Okay, so what were we giving each other here then? We need something fun.
Yeah, we need something cool.
Nothing.
What?
Nothing.
No.
A lawsuit?
He said nothing.
Oh
No,
no.
we need something memeable. We need something memeable. I think it cannot be boring stuff like
I know.
yeah.
We give each other
What?
kitties. Who doesn't love a cat?
Yeah, okay, let's do kitties. Let's do the first version, kitties. Oh, we can do like different things each
Trust you.
month. We can meme different things each month so we can keep the marketing team busy. July is the kitty month. August is like, I don't know, like a unicorn or whatever.
Oh yeah, we could give each other rainbows. Let's
Well,
think
we were
about it.
joking yesterday about the zoo in it, Hero, as well. So maybe
Yeah.
we going through the animals, bro, on stacks. All the animals on stacks. We got parrots. We got
I think
kangaroos.
something
We got
memeable and
kittens.
fun, I think definitely helps to get the vibe going because you don't want to send each other like a fucking turtle, you know?
Let me think about it. Maybe I can come up with a little mascot for DeGrants.
Wow, yeah, I love the idea.
Yeah.
But you give mascot to each other or no? No. You just have a
What was the question?
Are you saying we give mascot to each other or are you just saying there's gonna be a mascot for DeGrants?
Well, I'll try and think about it and get a feel for it and see if he's got any ideas to DM me. But yeah, if I can come up with a mascot, that can be like the mascot for DeGrants.
So I'm just saying
And
Pepe
that's
down
what we.
there. Maybe we can do like a month of Pepe or something. It can be like,
Teenage Mutant Stacking Turtles.
or it could be like each month we collab with the project and we give their community animal. So we give like a rule, kangaroo. I don't know. Sorry, I'm not very good at this.
No, but yeah, like let's think of some funny things. Like, I mean, like the pizza. It's so great because you like throw
Yeah,
a pizza.
pizza is great. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
A
So we need.
sandwich, maybe like
Yeah.
Well, I did make a runicorn for Roo, so it's a kangaroo with a unicorn head.
Well, there we go. All right, so let's put some
What I
ideas.
like if we leverage the community project is like everybody gets highlighted that month. That could be cool. But I do love pizza, like some food stuff. I don't know, avocado or yeah.
What about
Hero? Don't get started with the avocados again. My God.
I know. Don't even start with the avocados. We can give each other nuts.
Wait,
got a
would it
nut
be like
right
within
in
each
the face.
track, Good Kitty? Would it be like within each track? So NFT give NFT guys or developer give developers guy, or would it be like just a global community give each
I
other?
think we just have a thing in our console. I don't know, can they do things like you do in Discord where you track like like community engagement stuff on console? Because then we can track it, and then basically we can have a channel in there, and it can say like whatever we want to call it, like community something, community of the month, or I mean whatever. And then we'll have a channel for this, and then people just go in there and they throw they send whatever they want to send, and then that appears. Because I'll send you some screen grabs, and I'll send you a breakdown of how it looks.
Yes, please. Yeah, if you can
On
give me some more information, we can get that going. I really think it's one of the best idea I've heard so far, actually. Because the
Yeah,
other one
man.
are just a little bit more boring. This is fun, and I think being fun can really get more people involved.
Yeah, and that's why. And then you have financial rewards. So the top one gets this amount, the second one gets this amount, and then people start vying for it, to be and the whole everybody in the Discord also knows that person is at the top. And then there's something to do with voting as well. I'll go back and I'll revisit it. I've gotten one pizza my whole life in the Pizza Ninja Discord.
I'm
One
just wondering
person.
out loud. Is there a way to do it out here in the public or not? Or is it better down in Disco environment or a council environment?
It's probably more manageable in console, because how would we do it out here? And not everybody's always on like the spaces, or we could probably have a roundup. So in our our group space on Friday, we could probably have like fun there, kind of, laughing about it, and maybe awarding the community winners of that week in the space. But I think in terms of keeping track of it, we would need to be able to do that on console.
Yeah, I agree with that, because also the people that within the console are very involved with everybody. So they're seeing what's happening and who's proactive in building and doing the community work. So it might be more beneficial.
All right, I'll make some notes and screen grabs and send them to you, Hero.
Yeah, yes, please, because I need it I need to get a version to Golden on for Thursday.
All right, super. Well,
Kitty, you've got another job to do.
Yeah, I'll just add that to my list of jobs that I have. God. I'm telling you, I work for Stacks, if anybody wants to know.
I think so.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I think that's good. Good conversation. I've loved the call. Grateful to everybody who came up stage and shared their ideas.
Definitely.
And yeah, I look forward to reading the applications. I look forward to hearing more next week from our incredible people that we've had. I loved everything. I loved everybody that spoke tonight. I think everything was great. So
we had some amazing conversations.
Yeah.
Can I put my artist hat on for a second?
Yeah.
And I actually have my Stacks NFT up for the month. It's only about 10 days left. So it's I've put it up in the, what do you call it? The Nest or Jumbotron.
That's the Jumbotron.
So it's
on this show.
So it's bezeled by Earth Angel Tanya, and that was the piece that I submitted to Art Basel last year. That was showcased there. And the original artwork was in honour of my late mum, who battled illness for a long time. So the first 5 of those pieces have actually been gifted as an ordinal to the people that bought the original Stacks NFT. So I ran a competition last year, or around the time when my mum passed. So, things went haywire and stuff, but to honour what I did for the competition. So anybody that bought one of the Stacks NFT were to receive an ordinal or a print or whatever, but I've decided to give all of those purchases a ordinal. So if you purchased one of those originally, go check your wallets, because everybody's been gifted a ordinal. But also the ordinal is now available. There's total of 33 copies. There's about 28 copies left now. It'll be finalised at the end of the month. That's when the sale ends, and it will no longer be available. So they're under $13 at the moment, USD. So if you are liking the art, want to support me as an artist in this space, go jump up into the nest. You'll see the link, and yeah.
Got one of those, haven't I?
You have both. You have the Stacks NFT and the ordinal now, as of this morning.
Oh my God, thank you. That's so cool. Oh, I love you. That's so cool. Thank you.
No worries at all. I appreciate you supporting me from day one. So, like we said, it's always nerve-wracking. It doesn't matter how well known you're in the space, or whether you're doing lots of work or whatever. You as an artist, you're always you want your stuff out there. You want to be appreciated. Artists are putting their heart and soul. It's you actually get a bit of, whether it's music, whether it's writing, this is the whole point of the DeGrants. The effort that people are putting in is all about them giving a bit of themselves forward, and that's what you're supporting.
Amazing.
So,
yeah, well, that's such a nice surprise. Thank you so much. And yeah, what a nice thing to do for your collectors. That's amazing.
Thank you, darling. Well, it's not just about me. It's not a one-way street. It's you support those that support you in some way or another, and that's how I just thought, you know what, so much, through the period of my mum passing, it was really difficult. We had some major long conversations. You helped me through that. It was one of the biggest transitions in my life, because I'd been looking after my mum for 15 years through her illness, pretty much solely, whilst I was also looking after my son, who was type 1 diabetic, and had another child. So my household was pretty much for the last 15 years being in and out of hospitals, and looking after children. So there wasn't a lot I was able to do apart from care for people. So me getting into the Web3 space and doing these artworks and really honing in on my skills and what I really love doing, it's given me the opportunity to get that out there, and obviously people like you and Gordon and Sam and this lovely guy Aaron have been some of my biggest collectors. So I sent everybody a piece because that's what I wanted to do.
Amazing. I'm very excited, and I'm going to open up my wallet as soon as I put this call down. Oh, well. All right. Well, guys, on that beautiful note, I think we can love you and leave you. Are you cool?
Definitely.
Yeah.
All good. Yeah. Thanks everybody for coming. We love seeing the same faces and all the new faces every week. Keep coming back, and we'll make this community bigger and better by the minute.
Yes. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right. Well, that was amazing. Hero, thank you so much. As always, Atlas, it was so good to have you here as well. Though we didn't get much time to speak. But always good to see you. And Trip, also, thank you so much for your input. Always appreciated. And to all the other folk in the audience, Tiara, thanks for coming up to share. And to all the other people who come here each week and support us, thank you so much. And we will see you next week, Tuesday, 2 p.m. ET, for another program to discuss the DeGrants funding for NFTs. Submit your ideas. Hopefully we'll have a couple more of the applicants in. We had some awesome ones tonight. We've got, I think, 11 submissions in so far. And I know that we've got a bunch more coming in, conversations I've had around. So yeah, very, very, very excited. But anyway, on that note, thanks, guys. Thanks, Nieta. Love you to pieces.
Love you too, Del.
Yeah, we'll speak in the week, and otherwise I'll see you next week here.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thank you.